See here.
Okay, we're live now.
We are.
Yeah.
You want to stop streaming the main thing there? Perfect. We are.
Okay, I can hear us now officially.
You want to stop streaming the? Okay, perfect.
All
I'm gonna
right.
close out the
Now
your screen share on there.
Yep. Oh, good call. Not really. We knew that. We knew that. We knew from the beginning that Democrats were a really strong midterm party. That Donald Trump is, when his name's on the ballot, Republicans overperform, and when Democrats, when he's not, his name is not on the ballot, aka midterms and special elections, Democrats are overperforming really well. And so the fact that Spanberger, she's just a popular, I believe, former representative. She ran for governor. Seems like really smart. She seems to understand like what her constituents want. She's talked about how we have to moderate, from kind of revolutionary talk into something that more is, the kitchen table issues that people deeply desire. And so I think that they had done. I think that was a really just didn't shock me that she had won that. Beyond that, uh, I yes. I heard that.
The vote, and it just ticked up from about 11% to 22%. So I'm assuming that we should have some more results coming in pretty quickly, as those polls close down and get their numbers in. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting night. I think that Democrats are looking to, I don't know, rebuild, get some confidence back in them. I think that there was the way that the election went down last year certainly left a bad taste in their mouths. I think that they left, they questioned themselves a lot, right? With Biden, not stepping down at first, not allowing or not having a primary, which again would have been historic in and of itself. You don't have a sitting president have a primary.
It was
to
a
be
mess.
reelected. That is not something you would have ever expected to see. That's a really unusual situation. I think that a lot of Democrats probably look back on that and regret that that wasn't the case, that they didn't have a primary process. Because then, what, 3 or 4 months before the election, Kamala Harris the gauntlet gets thrown on her lap and says, "Here you go, Bucko.
Bucko.
It's on you." And I think Democrats are wishing they had a second go at that, or at least what they would consider a fair chance at that election.
I fully agree. Let's also remember that
It
this is the Dick Cheney memorial stream. Shout outs to Dick Cheney. He
Yes.
realized a Muslim was going to win New York City and peaced out. So I totally
Dick Cheney. I haven't thought about Dick Cheney in a long time. I'll be honest, but it did bring back quite the memories from my very early neocon days. Before I think I turned away from those days when I was about 15 or 16. But I certainly had those memories of rah rah, let's invade Iran, let's go after the Taliban, let's take out these dictators. And so I had a moment of contemplation about my former beliefs and thoughts, which I have long since abandoned quite thoroughly. I will add, but it is an interesting dynamic, because we did see especially last night, Republicans posting pictures of 9/11, the planes flying into buildings, and say, "Remember 9/11," when talking about Mamdani. And
it's really rough to watch.
It's just so it's extremely tacky, and there's so much you can criticize Mamdani on. His policies, there's a lot of policies of his that are just bad on their face. You can go after those policies and you can criticize those policies. You don't need to bring his race or his religion into it. That it is wild to me that people think that that's what they need to be criticizing him on. And I guess to a certain degree, they're playing to their base, right? They're saying to their base, well, we get it. You don't want to talk about policy, you want to talk about emotion. And that's what Donald Trump has brought to the table, right? He's brought the emotion of the voters to the forefront. That's the thing that he puts out there, that he taps into, and he does it as well as I've ever seen anybody do it. And I can't imagine a scenario. Okay, I take that back. Post 9/11, there was quite a lot of Islamic sentiment, and we saw a lot of that, and we witnessed a lot of that. But what you also saw after 9/11 is you saw that the positive view of Americans of Muslims and Islam actually went up after 9/11. And I think that kind of speaks to America's mentality. I think that that's something that we really kind of take for granted to a certain point, is that Americans are, you mess with us, we're gonna do everything in our power to wipe you off the face of the planet, like with Afghanistan and Iraq. But if you're our neighbor and we realize you're okay, we're good with you. And then that's a kind of, it seems contradictory at first, but as an American who's grown up in this culture, I don't see it as contradictory. I see it as almost complementary of each other.
John, if I can,
and part of it is go for it.
So we have a guy named Josh Eagle in the chat. He wrote, "Let's go." But we've also got another guy named Papa Duke who's got a few comments. Thank you, Papa Duke, for your comments. The first thing, he wrote that Jay Jones staying ahead is a tad of a surprise. How are you feeling about that? Because I mentioned, I think we were having audio issues, but I mentioned the polling on Jones was that he was ahead despite his comments. From what I saw, he was still ahead, just more narrowly. And Democrats are a really, really strong special election party. They're overperforming in literally every election. Do you think that is this like a big shock to you, or what do you think?
I think it really boils down to is that most voters are not as tapped in to the news cycle as we are. I bet you if you polled voters people voting for Jay Jones, or even for his opponent, most of them would have no idea of this text message. They have no idea what's in them. They have no idea what, no idea that story even exists. And I'm looking at the numbers now with 52% of the counties of votes in Virginia. We're seeing Jay Jones with a 50.3% lead over 49.3 from the Republican. So it kind of surprises me, but it also kind of doesn't. I mean, let's be honest. The last people who have a leg to stand on in terms of criticizing what a candidate says are Republicans. Look at all the thousands of things that Donald Trump has said that would have sunk any other candidate. And look at, this one thing that Jay Jones has said, and I do not defend it. I think it's an awful thing for him to say. And I don't know that I would vote for him if I was in Virginia after hearing what he said. I think voters are kind of like, okay, why should I care? If you do not care, for Republicans, if you do not care what your candidate says, why should I care? And I get that attitude. I get it. We've seen Donald Trump say so many god-awful things so often that it's kind of one of those things that I don't really blame Democrats for just saying, yeah, you know what? Okay, well, why should we care? Why should we care what our candidate says? It's vote for the red or blue candidate. And sadly, that seems to be the state of American politics. I'm certainly not defending that this is the way it should be. I don't like that. But I also, to a certain extent, understand it. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me. Obviously, the results are very preliminary, and we only have it's at 55%, and his lead is just ticked up a little bit. So he's actually increasing as the night goes on here. But again, only 55% of votes coming in. However, the betting market seems to be looking at this and seem to have called it for him. Last I saw that they were at 99% for him to win, which tells me that he is winning in the districts he needs to be winning and in strong enough numbers that people are willing to put their money onto it. So I'm not too surprised to see him. I would not be too surprised if he maintains that lead throughout the night. So.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, how's it going?
But as far as that Joshua Eagle guy that you said making comments, you got to just get rid of those trolls, man. Those guys.
You want to hear something really impressive about Josh? He was the chair of the Tennessee Libertarian Party, and he was able to achieve that position without once talking about lowering the age of consent, which is very challenging in libertarian politics, I'm told.
Oh, yes.
I like your response.
Oh, goodness. Just not going to even touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Sorry.
Tuning back into the New Jersey race.
Real quick, sorry. Rob, how are you doing? You're muted. Are you? You're muted. We'll wait on you. Go ahead. You were saying?
We've got the New Jersey governor. Looks like we've got 27%, so almost a third of the votes in. Mickey Sherrill with 61.3% of the votes at this time. Again, we're probably seeing a lot of the urban areas coming in sooner rather than later. So, but that one will probably, hopefully, it looks like. I mean, boy, if these numbers keep coming in as quickly as they are, we should have a result on this within an hour, I would think. And this is the race that Republicans have really been, the New Jersey governor has really been the one that Republicans have been pushing. They're saying that that's the one that they have a chance in. They seem to have given up on the Virginia race a while back.
Yeah.
They certainly weren't pouring in their resources like they are at the New Jersey governor race. We still, as far as I can see, we don't have any results from the New York City race. Do we have
the big one?
we say it's the big one. I think to me it seems like it's one of the most meaningless races of the night. For one thing, the mayor of New York City does not have that much power. They're not going to start nationalizing industries as a mayor of New York City anytime soon. And I certainly don't see Mamdani being that much worse than many other mayors in New York City history. And they've had some really bad mayors. So it's going to be an interesting experiment to see, one, what does he actually do, and then two, what the results of those things are. He's certainly got some policies that are quite out there, and certainly not something that I would want to see attempted, because I'm a rational human being who has seen these things attempted 1,000 times before in history. So it would be nice to have a few more rational politicians out there that I felt like actually spoke to the issues. But I think the story with Mamdani should be less about him and the Democratic Socialists and more about why aren't real true liberals getting involved in politics? Because look at his competition. Look at Curtis Silva,
Yeah,
and Andrew Cuomo. Like that's really the competition.
and
in the
Eric
greatest
Adams
city
who
on the
dropped
planet
out.
Earth, and Eric Adams, who dropped out. That's right. Forgot about him. Like a guy literally under indictment until Trump came along and was trying to strong arm him. But that's
Basically,
a whole other issue.
The dismissal of Eric Adams' case was like the most, like, this was basically a quid pro quo. Like, you can't say it, but like in the drop, when they said they were dropping the charges, they verbatim wrote, "We're dropping the charges because it will him pursuing these, or him defending these charges will make it difficult for him to work with Trump on his immigration policies, on his ICE policies." It's like
half of the district, Southern District attorneys, they resigned over this issue. A dozen of them resigned, saying this: we cannot associate ourselves with this corruption. And it really is. I cannot think of another situation where a president has stepped in and told federal prosecutors, do not prosecute this person. I certainly don't know of a scenario where that's happened. And that's certainly one of the most corrupt things a president has ever done. And yet, under this presidency, it's just normal. It's just every day. I don't get it. I don't understand. How does he get such a pass, Oren? How does he get such a pass in this corruption and just saying, you know what, I'm going to do what I want and nobody can stop me?
Yeah. Some comments coming in real quick.
Biden, yeah, go for it.
Oh, don't even get me started on I think that like if Obama like smashed the Eastern Wing without congressional approval, I think that like there'd be something. I can't even like, that'd be the most cooked thing in the world.
Oh, listen, if you just flipped, if Trump doing something and Obama did it, it's wild to me. I mean, listen, Trump gets every pass in the book. Obama didn't. That's for damn sure. And then they have the gall this past week. They have the gall to talk about how Obama was treated with white gloves. You called his wife a man.
He said he was a Canadian.
Yeah, exactly. You said that he wasn't even born in America, and you said, "Oh, he got kid gloves from the media." No, he didn't.
He absolutely did not.
Certainly, I wish the media. Yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say, I don't know who has searched that. Real quick, Papa Duke, thank you so much for your comments. I am reading them. He mentioned that polls in New York City close at 9 p.m. Eastern, so we're just probably not gonna get another results for 25 minutes minimum. And then R1Z3, this guy with a assorted number of letters and things. He's somewhere else in the world, up at 1:30 a.m. to watch U.S. politics. It is an exciting time, really cool time. And he's noting that Spanberger has a 10% lead, 61% of the count. Really impressive. That is really good. The one thing that I want to say about that guy who talked about gunning down, who wanted to kill a Republican person he didn't like, what is his name? I forgot. Jay Jones. Jay Jones. I should remember. That's a very easy name. The thing about it, and I've been talking to friends about this, and I don't know how to respond to it. It's, on the one hand, I want the ability to go vote for the Republican when I see someone doing something this just like not appropriate for an AG. Like that's below the level. Spanberger's about to speak. We can maybe try to pull that up. Thanks for the idea, Papa Duke. But what I was going to mention is, if you're a Democrat right now, you're looking at like Chicago getting invaded by ICE or whatnot, and you're thinking to yourself, I need an AG that's on my side. And if he's going to write some questionable text messages, I really just got to deal with it, because like I can't risk a Republican who is just going to see, Trump march ICE, agents across my state, and the AG's going to be like, I don't see much of an issue here, right? You want someone who's going to at least try to challenge the president. And so I totally understand that reluctancy. It's a really frustrating thing to witness. I'm told Spanberger is going to be speaking soon. Let me.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
gonna...
we can tune into that for a little bit when she does. But yeah, as far as Jay Jones goes, listen, the first thing I judge a candidate by is I do judge them by their policies first.
Without measuring some hospitals.
Almost a second, if not, it's certainly second, but it's not unimportant. I don't let policies completely overrule it.
Yeah.
But character matters. Character absolutely matters. And so I've been thinking not so much in the Virginia case, but really about Mamdani, and Cuomo and Silva. And boy, I don't like any of those three guys in New York. I really don't. Not a fan of them. But
Zelnor
I cannot
was
vote
the choice.
for Andrew Cuomo.
The Yimby King Zelnor.
Gotcha. I couldn't vote for Cuomo. Like a sex pest, no. That is beyond the pale. I cannot vote for him. Silva is an insane person. The man has issues. Severe issues.
Would you like to switch over to Spanberger?
Yeah, let's tune in for a few minutes and see what she has to say. Probably we're not going to listen to too long, but yeah, let's switch into it.
So she's been crowned the governor. She's won. We're going to really quickly make sure to click the share audio button. We are going to listen to Spanberger talk briefly. The audio is bad on their end.
They're having the same issues we were having.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, they can. I've got you turned up in my here, so we should be good. These political rallies are always fun. I don't know how many you've been to, Oren, but it's nice to be a part of the Colts and
I remember being Gavin Newsom when he was first running for lieutenant governor with Jerry Brown.
We sent a message to every corner of the Commonwealth. A message to our neighbors and our fellow Americans across the country.
I love reading this call. Rudy's a gamer, too.
We sent a message to the whole world.
What a joke.
That in 2025, Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship. We chose our Commonwealth over chaos. You all chose leadership that will focus relentlessly on what matters most: lowering costs, keeping our communities safe, and strengthening our economy.
What happened?
Leadership that will focus on problem solving, not stoking division. We chose leadership that will always put Virginia first. And Virginia, I cannot wait to get to work for you. Tonight we turned a page. We turned that page by listening to our neighbors, focusing on practical results, laying out a clear agenda.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Leading with decency.
Welcome,
Hashtag adulting.
No worries. I'm listening in on the
everyone
Spanberger.
who helped us achieve this win.
Okay, yeah, that was a big one.
Of my heart,
I might have to
thank you.
mute for a little bit because I'm expecting a phone call back. So.
Oh, good.
I thank you for the
Dude, I
trust
love the
that you
salt.
have
Like men in
placed in
women's
me,
bathroom spaces
and it
rejoice.
is the honor
Single
of
issue
my
voter over here.
lifetime to be elected the 75th governor.
Clean and
We
proud.
can turn away from
Virginia
Stanford
Lieutenant
if we
Governor.
want to. So I think it's. I think her message is one that Democrats are going to pick up on. You can clearly tell that this is planned out. That this is a message not just to Virginians, but to the rest of the country. That
I
you
would
know,
like to
a
thank
message
my
to
opponent
DC
for a
saying, "Hey,
hard-fought race.
we are still here. With we're not going anywhere." I think that Republicans have been beating the drum that the Democratic Party is dead.
The lieutenant governor's story,
And I
her
think that
military
I think we are
service,
going to
and her
see.
years of service
I think we're
here
going
in
to see
Virginia
Republicans
deserve
kind of
our
revive on
respect
this. I
and our
think
gratitude, and
Republicans
I
have
ask
been
that
way
you join me
overplaying
in
their hand and
wishing
saying that
her and her family well.
the Democratic Party is dead, while not understanding that the reason why the polling numbers for the Democrats have been so bad is because they aren't standing up
I
to,
also
or
know
being
that
perceived as
those
not standing up to
who
Trump
were supporting
enough.
my opponent are disappointed today. And to those
I
So
agree.
I think that's going to be something a very rude awakening.
My goal and my intent
Uh,
is to serve all.
a very rude awakening to Republicans, particularly going into next year, to 2026.
And that means that I will.
Yeah, I
Papa
think,
Duke.
and I think,
I will work
I think there was some
forward to
polling I
end
saw just come out,
that
or not polling.
purpose that I've taken
It looks like all the counties in Virginia actually saw a swing to Democrats. I think I just saw that recently. Let me try to pull it up and see if I can find it.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And you can take Spanberger off. We can get back to us. I
Yep.
think.
You're back.
Sorry, the stream is very delayed on my end, so I don't always know what's coming up on the pipe. But yeah, I would not be surprised if we see a swing. It'll be really interesting to dive into these numbers. Again, with 2/3 of the vote coming in, Jay Jones still has a sizable lead, near 50,000 vote lead over the Republican. That I think is going to be the barometer from Virginia. We've got the governor race in New Jersey. That certainly is a barometer race. We've got the New York City elections. I don't know how much of a barometer is. I know Trump came out and
Cuomo.
quasi endorsed Cuomo, but I don't really know that I don't really see the New York City race really being a forum, a verdict on Trump. I don't really see Trump as being on the ballot in New York City like I do see it in Virginia and in New Jersey.
And you will see it in California.
So while absolutely, Proposition 50 is absolutely going to be a forum on Trump for sure. I don't think there's any disputing that at all. It'll be fascinating to watch. I guess polls probably don't close in California for another couple hours.
Yeah.
So that probably
we probably
I don't know
won't
if our
be here
stream
for
will
that,
be
but
quite that long tonight.
I just posted the Virginia governor results on the right in the chat, and you'll see if you click on that, it's the New York Times. And if you go down a little bit, you'll see where it'll show the swing, and a lot of the county.
Oops, I'm sharing the stream here, and I gotta. Oh crap!
I'm getting hit by the
Paywall.
good old they're not letting me view it because I have to pay. Do you want to share your screen on that one?
I was trying to, but then I got hit with it as well. So Vince, do you want to share your screen?
Here we go. Vince is going to show
You
us.
got
So
it
we got
pulled up?
some. This is how Virginia broke. We're seeing this middle column here, shift from 2024 presidency. What's going on with Mecklenburg? They're like down with Mecklenburg is like, yep, we're going in the
Yeah.
right direction.
Well, again, some of these are tiny.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
11,000.
Yeah, that's quite
The swings
quite
are
the
wild.
swing. Yeah,
The swings
that
are
is
like
quite
crazy.
wild. And these are 95% in, so these are very, very much close to being done.
Yeah.
Like even if it does change a little bit, it's only going to change by a fraction.
Yeah.
of a point. And yeah, this is a map that's going to be really interesting.
Look at this. Look at
Wow.
this one from
22
Manassas Park.
points.
22 points.
Yeah. Wow.
Only two
That
counties
is
went
wild.
right.
Well, even at the top there, the biggest, I mean, look at that 16 and 13, 12 point. Those are big. Those are the cities. Those are, look
Yeah.
at the number of votes, 160,000 plus in each. That's a huge swing for a city of that size. That is not something
Yeah, 12 and
you,
16
that is
point
not
swing is
something
really
you can-
impressive.
Yeah.
So what the question is, what motivates it? So it's number one is like the most obvious is Trump is not on the ballot. Democrats have just overperformed in all ballots in which Trump is not on the ballot in all elections. But is this also? I think that's just because Trump like devours he. It's actually kind of funny because you can't even blame them because like Republicans are only focused on Trump, but that's also because Congress just has given up their power to Trump like exclusively. Like he is able to enact tariffs like a way the founders never ever envisioned or ever wanted, where you can just declare a national emergency being you're losing on trade, whatever the hell that means, and then just
Poly
implement-
Market is already. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm looking at the New Jersey Governor Poly Market. They are basically calling it for the Democrat, Mickey Sherrill.
nice.
Poly Market just came in. It is at 100%. Like they are basically calling it. It is essentially 9.8% for Mickey Sherrill, which is surprising that they're calling it this early. There's still quite a few votes out there. It's a 32% reporting. She is leading at 58.9% to 40.6%. But they're looking at that going, there's just no votes for the Republican to get, is what that tells me. So that's very early on in the night. It's only a third of the vote in. Let's see here. We've also got let's see if Jay Jones again has been he is at 99% on Poly Market. The betting markets have certainly decided that Jay Jones is going to win.
How
and
much
the
can you
Democrats are
can
probably
you
gonna
game
clean-
those? Could
clean
I, if I was
sweep.
like if I was Elon Musk, could I game that, or is it just like not gameable?
I am not too sure. I am sure it is possible to game the betting markets. I don't doubt that it is. I mean, listen, we all know that Trump has been gaming the crypto market for the past 9 months with his swings on tariffs, as not to mention the stock market, right? Somebody's been tipped off. We've seen the reports of massive buys before and after, and sells before and after Trump announces his tariffs. So somebody knows. But I'm sure. But yeah, it certainly looks. Boy, look at this. Pull this up on the. I'll put this in the. Or actually, here I can stream this. You can certainly see the. Pull this up. There we go. Let's pull this right here. Here we go. So you can just see this for Jay Jones. Just this pop right up. I mean, obviously, it's kind of surprising that he had. Obviously, they have these colors backwards. They have orange as the Republican and blue as the, the orange is the Democrat and blue is the Republican. So it's throwing me off a little bit on the colors.
They just it got decided in like 1 second. You can make some
Basically-
good money if
basically.
you get lucky against.
Yeah. As you can see, the Virginia governor election,
Decided.
nobody really had any doubts
Spanberger.
about that one. And then we can take a look at. Let's see.
Yeah, I like how
where
they're
I've lost
estimating
my.
on the margin of victory. They're not even. Mamdani is the
right.
favorite for sure.
Sure, I think Cuomo would have had a chance had Silwa dropped out. I think that the polling clearly showed that Silwa pulled a lot of people away from Cuomo, which it'll be interesting to see if that holds up. I'm not too familiar with New York City voters. Do they like to stick with, do they like to stick with their man, or do they, or will they switch at the last minute if they think that their guy can't win? I don't know. I'm not too privy on that. The Democratic sweep of the night, which so far it looks like it's going to hold. Certainly, boy, it's at 97%. So that would be the governorship of Virginia,
two governorships,
New
the
Jersey.
AG, and then Prop 50 would be also probably part of the sweep.
Yeah, I just want to give you
uh,
guys a heads up on terms of turnout. I'm looking at November of 21 for the Virginia gubernatorial. You get what I'm saying?
Gubernatorial.
Election. Thank you. The total turnout looks to be at about 3 million, 3.1 million. Right now, we're at 2.3 total turnout, with 70% of the estimated vote total is being reported in Virginia. So there's still quite a bit left to go, but we're steadily approaching. I'm curious to see where the total turnout is, to see if it is increased from 2021 or if it's holding steady. That's something I want to see, and hopefully it's higher to see the energy being turned out.
Well, we could do some rough, back of the napkin math. Basically, look at let's see here. We'll look at the Virginia 2024 election results, and basically, you had a turnout of right around two. Let's see here.
We're having just want to
Got it.
update you. The chats are having a discussion on who's a bigger cat guy between Silva and Mamdani to determine who should be voted for.
I don't. Again, I don't know. Silva, boy, it just seems wild to me that Silva is even considered. I know he's been a long-time mainstay in New York politics, just kind of floating around the edges. But yeah, it's wild to me that people take him seriously. So yeah, in 2024, the total turnout in the presidential election was 4.4 million voters. And then they're currently right now with 68%. So 2/3 of the vote in, we got 2.3. So if you do some rough back of the napkin math, that is a very large turnout for this election cycle. Like, that's quite a
I
lot.
agree.
You're talking another million, so 3.34 million. So that's only about 75% of the vote total from 2024 came out to vote again. And I think we can also talk to the motivation of who's coming out to vote. I think Trump supporters, and we've seen this in the poll numbers, Trump supporters, their confidence in what Trump is doing has greatly diminished in just 9 months. We've never seen we've never seen approval ratings from a president sink this quickly, this fast. And I think this election is probably going to show that. There's probably a lot of disappointment and a lot of Republicans that are going to stay home and not vote simply because they've lost faith in what Trump's doing. Obviously, the eternally online crowd will never admit this, but there does seem to be, in the Republican Party, there seems to be a lot of discouragement that nothing is getting done. Even Matt Walsh was talking about, we shouldn't be fighting with Fuentes. We shouldn't be talking about this Nick Fuentes. We shouldn't be fighting with anybody to the right. We need, we're going to have at least another year of the House and the Senate to get things done. And it's like, well, you realize that nothing Trump has done is going to outlast his presidency. Executive orders can be overturned with another executive order, as long as he's not passing laws, right? None of his laws that none of the things he's doing are being passed by laws. USAID can simply be restarted by the next president, but that's not gone. Nothing that Doge has done cannot be completely and entirely undone by the next president. So I do think that we're going to see a massive motivation from Democratic voters, and I don't think we're going to see Republicans. I don't know what they're going to campaign on, because they've had that control of the House, they've had control of the Senate, they've had control of the executive branch, and what have they done with it? Really, like, what have they done with it that's going to outlast Trump's presidency?
Actually,
Nothing.
Trump outright said that he would be cool he would be down if nothing got, like, if that was the only thing they got done this 4 years was tax cuts. He'd be cool with that, with Congress just doing it. And that's both a testament to how little inspiration he has for, like, you know, how little of a vision he has for this country, but also just his desire to rule as a king. Like, he doesn't have any desire to actually pass real legislation. Hey Rob, how's it going?
Yo,
Welcome, Rob.
Thanks for joining, Chief.
I just went through a whole hour of Twitch learning,
Troubleshooting.
Discord learning.
We're glad to have you
Like
here.
I'm a pretty tech savvy guy, I would say, but I'm new to this stuff.
Oh, good. We're glad to have you here. We can do we'll do a gaming stream, gaming and poly stream later this week for sure. Thanks for joining us. So we've had some results already. We're waiting 3 minutes with bated breath for NYC polling closing. Currently, Democrats are doing well. They swept in Virginia. Jay Jones is up. It's just looks like, and
we're trickling in
Prop 50
for
good.
New Jersey. New Jersey's still kind of trickling in. We're only up to 32% in. Poly Market seems to have called that race for good. But again, until a news organization is putting their money where their mouth is, I'm not, you know, I only take gamblers' word a little bit, so I'm not too. I'm not not too sold on that.
So one of our chatters in YouTube mentioned that he can't believe executive orders are a thing and he can't get his head around it. The thing about executive orders is they're good in theory, and they are good in practice too, but their usage has been widely expanded. So, like, consider the following as like an executive order. Imagine it's Christmas Eve and Congress is gone, and we find out that something that the United States government is funding, we find out that the Wall Street Journal, they published a report on Christmas Eve, and it says 50% of that money is supposed to go to a good cause, but it's going to Al Qaeda, right? And that this is the opportunity where Congress is out because it's Christmas Eve for the president to come in and go, executive order, I'm freezing that money until Congress can come in and we can, like, get a hold of that. And so when you hear about this, like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or like Congress is out and suddenly, like, in Mexico or an ally is being attacked and we want to just kind of like provide them a little bit of relief, right? We're not going straight to war, but we're just trying to, like, you know, maybe break up the warring parties. This is a good example of another, like, potential executive order where you're doing a temporary action while Congress is not capable of ruling, just to, like, stabilize the situation, and then Congress acts and the executive order leaves. But then that's gotten expanded so much that, like, you can just, like, people are ruling by it now.
So executive orders, the executive branch is there to execute the law. It's not there to create the law or come up with the law. It is there to execute the laws that Congress passes. And so executive orders are there for the president to fulfill that mission. And when those, in my opinion, any executive order should have to go through an approval process by Congress. Like, I get that. Give the example that Congress is out of session. It's a holiday. It's a national emergency, a true national emergency. Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, fine. But there needs to be a time limit. I think there should be a hard time limit that if Congress hasn't voted on it within 30 days or, you know, some amount of time, it becomes null and void. And that it only continues past that time if Congress approves it. And then that puts a hard check and balance on the power of the executive. Obviously, do they then just issue another executive order? We can kind of get into the weeds on that. But yeah, we've basically gotten to the point in our politics where executive orders are being used to bypass Congress, which has never been and never should be their intended purpose. There is a process for passing laws called voting on it in Congress, and then the president can sign or veto it from there. And right now we're in a situation where, you know, presidents are just issuing executive orders left and right for purposes that the executive order was never intended to fulfill. We have a very dysfunctional government right now, in that it is not functioning as it was intended by the founding fathers, or even as intended by the Supreme Court in its many rulings on this subject.
Yes. Quick question. So there's a spam bot trying to sell us trying to sell us viewers, which is like kind of an insult, right? It's like, hey, I'm just noticing. But what I wanted to ask you was, I believe we are. I'm gonna ban this dude real quick, but New York has closed. Like we should be getting some results in.
That should be, yeah, we should be good. Probably in the next 10, 15 minutes, we should be at least getting some initial votes on it. Polymarket has ticked Mamdani up to 98% from 97%, whatever that means. I don't know that anybody is
From what to what?
He has ticked up from 90. He was at 97% on Polymarket. He is now at 98%.
All right.
So I don't know how much we want to
This
follow
would be
that, but
the,
it looks like at the beginning of the day,
This would be the
beginning of the day, he was
insane-
only at 90%. So
The thing
I
that's
don't know
really
what
driving him right
people
now.
saw.
I was just gonna say what he's getting. There's been a big turnout of the youth, which is his base. So it's as soon as I saw that youth turnout, I think it's decided for the most part. But we'll see. This would be one of the biggest upsets in recent memory. Maybe in my lifetime, this would be one of the biggest. No, Clinton was probably a bigger upset, Clinton versus Trump, but this would definitely be quite the upset if Cuomo pulls it out.
I would, yeah. I can't imagine. I don't think anybody can see that scenario happening. I don't think anybody sees where those votes can come from. But you're right. It would be quite the upset. But yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that changing. One thing I do want to show here is this view of the Jay Jones race over the past 6 hours on Polymarket. As you can see, imagine being Jason Miyares right here and seeing you tick yourself up and then it just gets and then you just get crushed. That would be quite the crushing thought. One of the things my wife has always said is that I am not allowed to run for office, so I will never have to deal with that. But I have certainly been involved in politics long enough to have been on the winning and losing side of other races, mainly within political parties, not public races. But I do think that's quite fascinating to watch the races from the bettor's perspective. I also find it amazing that there's hundreds of millions of dollars being voted on, being put on our election.
Well, we got some reports coming in for New York. I don't know if you've gotten those yet or not, but
I see it.
early reports are showing Zoran Mamdani is up
Run away with it.
51% total right now. That's early reporting, but still pretty sizable.
I've got you. Yep, I've got you pulled up on the screen here. It looks like 36% of the vote
With a
is
third
in.
of the vote in.
So that's over a third of the vote. He's got 51.5% of the vote. Cuomo is coming in at 39.7. Very interesting how look at the breakdown here. My goodness.
Yeah.
You can see that Manhattan is at 52%. Man, Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn.
What's
Mamdani's doing quite well. Staten
Island's
with
not a
Cuomo
surprise.
Interesting.
wow?
Very,
Even
very
Silva's
interesting.
beating Mamdani there. That's
Yeah.
actually kind of.
I mean, what split did you expect?
I didn't think.
I didn't
thought
expect
Silva
much.
was-
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the boroughs of New York as far as their voting
No, I don't know anything about
histories,
New
but
York.
it does not surprise
I
me
mean,
that
like,
does not
overall,
surprise me
what,
that
like-
still was way down there.
Staten Island is pretty. Staten Island is pretty MAGA centered, so it's not a surprise to see Cuomo going that way. Which, by the way, I think is also really interesting because Cuomo has been really trying to distance himself from Trump. But that's a pretty big referendum right there to show just how much when Donald Trump snaps his fingers, how much these guys fall in line. I mean, that right there says a lot. Especially the fact that they're not going after Zoran Mamdani and they're going over Siwa over Mamdani.
That I didn't expect.
It's not shocking, but it's what you would expect, but it's also kind of interesting to see now all of a sudden MAGA voting for Cuomo. So, didn't think I'd ever see that.
Trump,
But that's what that
Trump
is right there.
endorsed him,
Especially
so it's not
over the
too shocking.
Republican. Well, yeah. We are, well, they're at 36%. Yeah, we're seeing New York votes come in quite quickly. I'm assuming that they have electronic voting. Let's go over to New Jersey real quick and see what we've got here. We got 44% of the vote coming in here. The lead for the Democratic nominee has shrunk, but is certainly still a sizable lead that I just don't see. Like, you can see these counties here. I don't have a good sense of how many people are in each of these counties. But as you're looking at these coming in, I mean, here you see these red counties. Like, where's the votes? Even if the rest of these counties go entirely for the Republican candidate,
Yeah, it looks a bit.
there's just not enough votes. There's just not enough votes there to make up 188,000 deficit. And even considering that, Democratic strongholds like Trenton, Newark, and Patterson here are still themselves only at 40 to 50, 60% reporting. So I just don't know where the Republican candidate even gets any votes here. So question, guys, I know that they've already started this talk about how everything's rigged, it's all fake. How much after this election are we going to have? Is this just going to be a thing now that after every election, Republicans are going to sit there and be like, oh, they rigged it. They rigged it all. Just like they rigged the election when Trump was president in 2020.
So
didn't rig it hard,
but they couldn't rig it in 2024 when Biden was president. So
they're calling it.
But now they're going to rig it again while Trump is president. They
them
with three parentheses around it. If anybody gets that reference, that's a bit of an old reference. From Twitter.
The triple would the triple parentheses people call it from Mamdani? That's the question.
Exactly.
I think it'll take at least another 4 years. Whenever Trump is actually gone, it'll take another 4 years to have like consensus elections.
One
more cycle.
I would be surprised if it. I think what'll happen. Well, so I think we are going to see. Boy, we talked about this, and again, we're talking in the Project Liberal Discord. If anybody wants to join in on the conversation or join in on our other conversations, it is projectliberal.org/Discord. So make sure you join our Discord and talk in there. But one of the things that we had a discussion on in the Discord recently was how will violence from the right, especially if and when Republicans start to dramatically lose elections, and it certainly looks like they're losing them tonight. It certainly looks like in the midterms they're going to lose even more. But let's say we get to 2028.
Real quick before you continue, I just want to update.
Flops. Yes.
Super quick update. Yeah. Cheryl has expanded her lead to 16% with 52% in. All right, go ahead.
I just refreshed my screen. That is a big one, and that's a 250,000 votes. It doesn't look like it's even going to be that close. Again, I'm not sure where the rest of these votes that are going to be coming in. But yes, so we get to 2028. J.D. Vance will probably lose dramatically. He does not have the ability that Trump has to bring in the coalition, to weather the storm. He speaks very well to his base, which is about 25%, if that, of the voters. Outside of that, though, he's terrible. He doesn't poll well. He doesn't look well. Nobody likes the guy outside of that very niche base. So he loses bigly. Do we think we're going to see massive amounts of violence? Do we think we're going to see violence from the right? Specifically in regards to the election. We saw it on January 6th. So we know that they're capable of it. Will we see if it gets down to it? And remember, Vance will be the president of the Senate.
Yeah.
To oversee the counting of the electoral votes, the same position that Mike Pence was in when he said, hell no, I'm following the goddamn Constitution. And he did. And he stood up and he stood for what he believed in. And thank God for Mike Pence on that day. For everything else that man did wrong, he is an American hero for what he did that day.
True.
Or for, frankly, what he did not do that day. But Mike
Vance has already
Mike,
said
for
he
Vance,
would do it. Vance said he would do
right.
it, whether he was bluffing so that Trump would.
And Vance will be the one on the ticket.
Yeah.
So what happens? Will Vance? I can imagine if it's a blowout and Vance gets blown out of the water, that there isn't that much of an issue. Even he can't come up with it. But if it's a couple of states, well, they can invent stories about election fraud, just like they invented hundreds of stories of election fraud in 2020.
Yeah.
What happens? What happens then? Do we see them? Do we see reverse? Do we see the left going in and storming the Capitol to try to enforce the results of the election?
About that.
I think it's going to really depend on a whole lot of like how they lay the foundation moving into 2028. Sure. I mean, it's so far out that we don't know what events will take place between now and 2028. We're seeing this election. I could see where I'll give you a good example of where I could see the pot heating up. If Congress were to be overturned or to flip in midterms, and Democrats follow through, which they rightfully should follow through with impeachment, even though it'd be difficult. Obviously, I think the Senate has a harder time flipping than the House. So I think the more likely scenario is a split. I do still think Democrats will go through with an impeachment. If that fires up the base like stepping on a fire ant hill, it could certainly make tensions even hotter. But on the flip side, Trump could also isolate his base in a lot of ways. Maybe. Even though it's not been proven as such, but maybe with things like, say, invading Venezuela and get into a military conflict in that region as well. So there's a lot of events that we have going on. There's also Supreme Court rulings, by the way, that will either expand the government's hand or it won't. So it's very difficult with the environment that our politics is in right now to really predict with any really degree of certainty what 2028 is going to look like. So
that is an extremely excellent point. And case in point is the Supreme Court hearing the tariff policies this week. And they very much could rule against Trump and save his ass. Because if they rule against him and knock off those tariffs, our economy snaps back into place and starts chugging along real fast. It is really sluggish right now because of these tariffs. I don't think people realize how bad it is because of these tariffs.
Yeah.
People are starting to realize it. Our job market's really bad. Our manufacturing has declined for 7 or 8 months now. But you're right. There is so much at play. And there's part of me, as much as I do not want the Supreme Court to rule for Trump, there's part of me that kind of wants a bit of schadenfreude. Like, you're getting what you asked for with the tariffs for Trump.
Yeah.
So like, let's see how bad it can get, the economy can get, by letting Trump do what he's doing. I don't really want that. I do not want the power of the president to be expanded, but like that. That would be really bad in the long term. But part of me wonders, isn't it better to let Trump destroy a lot of shit so that people realize how bad he is? Or is it better to try to move forward? Because
it's a really tough question.
If SCOTUS throws out the tariffs, as they should, the Constitution is really, really clear on this matter. If the SCOTUS throws this out and saves Trump from himself, well, you're right. 2028 looks very different than 2 or 3 more years of these tariffs, because 2 or 3 more years of these tariffs, we're probably going to head into a recession at some point. Like, there's only so much, a friend of mine at work, he thought I was crazy, but I did the math on it, and I told him, like, listen, Donald Trump imposed the largest tax increase in American peacetime history with these tariffs. The largest peacetime tax increase in American history. That's a lot. Like, and a lot of people, Oren, you were talking about how, as long as Donald Trump passed he said that as long as he passed the tax decreases, like, that's what matters. It's like, yeah, people don't realize that tariffs are a tax and they're hurting everyone just like actual taxes do. So what you got pulled up here for us?
It got pulled up here. So this is Jay Jones. The lead has shrunk. And this is actually like the only one that seems to be a little bit tight here, a little bit competitive. 77% of the vote in. Jay just extended his lead by 0.1. But this is a reasonably tight election for the great state of Virginia. Jay Jones, to remind everyone, was the one, I believe he said that if he had a gun and he was locked in a room with his opponent, Hitler and Stalin shoot his opponent twice or something like that. Was what he had said. So that like hit
I'm
him pretty
looking
hard.
through. Yeah, I'm looking through the. It's kind of tough because Virginia has this weird situation where counties don't include towns, and it's kind of so I'm kind of tough. So I'm trying to see where these votes, where a lot of these votes are still coming from, but like there's still a lot of urban areas that are still out there.
Yeah.
So again, with only 23% of the vote left to come in, where are you going to gain those 89,000 votes if you're the Republican? I just don't see it. And they've also got the governor and lieutenant governor have both been called for a long time now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It shocks me how many people. It shocks me how many people are willing to vote split in this. Like I always because I remember in the 2024 election in North Carolina, the governor who was running on the Republican side, aka Black Hitler, if you remember that whole ordeal, big fan of commenting in the website comment section. I don't even know what goes through your mind.
Yes, I do remember that.
I got an opinion on this thing. Anyway, I thought like this dude was going to drown Trump. Turns out he won, and the governor won that election. So like how a ton of people vote split. Some people were saying that Trump won that North Carolina off what's called bullet ballots, where there are some people who just like they love Trump and they don't understand anything else besides I vote for Trump and I'm a winner. So they just grab their ballot. Trump. Done.
There were a lot of Trump only voters in 2024. There were a lot of ballots where they just went in, voted for Trump, and that was it. That was the only person that they voted for.
Also, remember in 20 with that runoff election in Georgia?
That's right.
The Senate races with Ossoff and Warnock.
Yeah.
Yep, and Chase Oliver. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, that is a wild. Yeah, I remember that. That was quite the event. We're also looking. Let's see, New Jersey race, 57% in.
15%
again,
lead exact.
15% lead exact with 260,000 votes. That's increasing. He's increasing his lead. As we've gone on here, we've got now 58%. It's shrunk down a little bit there. But again, I think we're probably going to be seeing a called result in New Jersey governor. So it does look like Democrats are going to sweep the important races quite handily.
It looks like they're going to sweep everything.
I
mean, like the national ones, I should say. I know there's always like props and stuff. Like Texas had like a prop on parental rights that I didn't really get into. So. But it looks like it's going to be so. Real quick, CBS News has upgraded Mickey Sherrill from a lean to a likely win.
Okay, well, that's moving in a direction. Checking back in on New York, we got 43% of the vote in. Mamdani has 50.2%.
It was his lead was 11%. Now it's just under 10. It's a slight shaving in support.
So it's narrowing a bit. It is narrowing a bit. Whenever I see a race like this, I do wonder what ranked choice voting would do and would affect our races, where people could go in and say, I want, Silwa, Cuomo, then Mamdani, or not even have Mamdani on the ballot at all, most likely.
No, for
so
sure.
I do wonder how that would change American elections with a ranked choice
Absolutely.
voting. I think that
they have it for New York has it for the primary, but not for the general, which is a shame in my opinion. Just in that they should have it for every election.
I understand why some people argue against it, but
against it?
I don't see their main objections don't really hold much water, in my opinion. I think that it is far more important I think it's far more important to get the right people elected and give more people a vote, because when people go in and they vote for Silwa, they probably know they're throwing their vote away. They're not really counting. So it's
Yeah.
better to allow people to give them that, that option of saying, hey, we can rank our votes here and we can actually vote for somebody we want, we want to. You don't have to be guilt tripped into putting somebody at the top of the ballot that you might not prefer. But that's also in the discussion with, let's say, more representative forms of voting. New York just tipped up to
To
52% of the votes in.
Yeah. Still lean.
Mamdani is down to 49.6%.
Mamdani's
of the vote. Cuomo is up to
lead is shaved.
41.5.
Mamdani's lead gets shaved
Let's
again.
see
Now
here.
it's sub 9. He's only up by 8.1% now. It was 13.
This actually
like an
looks
hour
like it's
ago.
going to be.
This is gonna be tighter than
This
it
is going to
should be.
probably be tighter than we expected. But I'm looking at where the votes are coming in. It doesn't look. It looks like I just don't see where Cuomo's votes are going to come in. Like unless the boroughs that of Brooklyn and Manhattan and Queens and Bronx are going to just change a bit pretty dramatically over the next couple of hours. I just don't see don't see him getting the votes.
The big question is, did Mamdani get favored aggressively in early voting? Because those get voted quick. And does Cuomo have a lean on the in-person voting? Because historically, I don't know if it holds up anymore, but historically, the leftier you are, the more you are voting early, and then the more conservative people are old school, and I want to be in the voting booth and get my sticker and all that stuff. So I think there's a chance the later votes are gonna be a little bit more in Cuomo's favor. I don't know if it's enough to make up this pretty strong gap. 8.1%. Go ahead.
Here's an interesting thing I'm looking at, and again, right now we understand that I'm only looking at least on my side, there's 51% votes in for New York City mayor. It might have changed while I was on the page, and these are obviously still halfway through. But looking at the 2024 election with Kamala Harris, the Staten Island went 64% for Trump, 34% for Harris, and as of right now, it's sitting at 55% for Cuomo, 22% for Sliwa, and 21% for Mamdani. So he's underperforming in Staten Island, Mamdani.
Okay.
But some of those votes you could say are going to Sliwa because there's 22% going to Sliwa and 55% going to Cuomo. So if you took those two and kind of combined them because they're pretty much the same crowd, that's like a 77% versus Trump's 64% on Staten Island. And I'm looking at other pretty good Democratic strongholds like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is currently sitting at 58% for Mamdani. It went for Harris 70%. So he is underperforming pretty handedly at this moment, at least, compared to Harris.
Interesting. I wonder. I mean, yeah.
I've always wondered, I really wonder, how liberal. I know, when people think of New York City, they think it's the lefty of the left. But there was two things that shocked me. One was that Donald Trump did really well in New York City, obviously in 2024. But the other thing that shocked me was the last mayor election, they went with the most conservative Democrat that was on the panel, which was Eric Adams. Everyone else that was running against Eric Adams in that election was more to his left, and they went with the most conservative. So it makes me wonder, we'll see. I'm feeling, looking at these numbers, unless they shift, I'm looking at these numbers, I'm just thinking to myself, they just had someone who was a little younger and didn't have the baggage that Cuomo had. I think Mamdani would be done here, sincerely. But
I think we need a serious discussion about why the quality of candidates is so poor, and how can we get young people involved, and young quality people involved in politics. I think liberalism over the past decades has run into the problem of, it's been so successful on so many fronts. We've gotten gay marriage, we've legalized the pot, we've done all of these other things that have been really, really successful. So I think young people, liberal people, are not as motivated to be involved in politics, right? We think well, we solved a lot of these issues, so I'm not as motivated. The issues I'm passionate about, well, we solved those issues. So I think we're going to see young people look at what's happening with immigration, young people look at what's happening with tariffs and think, oh my God, we need to get involved in politics again. And I hope that that's the case.
There's also,
One thing I want to look at is Jay Jones in Virginia has actually increased his lead. With 80% of the votes in, he is now leading by 98,000 votes.
or
I don't know where
that looks like
Republicans are gonna get.
3.6%. That's what my numbers tell me.
Yeah, so I do not see the Republican pulling that one. CNN just called
Oh.
New Jersey for the Democrat for Cheryl. So that was let's I'm going to go back over there and look at that. Let's actually pull this up on the screen real quick.
Also, real quick, 60% of the vote in
Yep.
on NYC, and the lead has shortened again to 8% solid. So it's a race right now. I don't know. I think Mamdani's going to get out with it's going to be a little up, and
It's going to be a lot closer than people expected.
CBS also just
Yes.
called it for Mike Shirelli.
Jersey.
It's over. Yeah, it's over on CBS.
Same with CNN. We're looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. Sherrill is looking at 280,000. Again, they increasing their vote lead. This is quite a dominant victory if this holds up with 62%. That's 2/3 of the vote.
Yeah,
Nearly 2/3 of the vote coming in.
that's pretty crushing.
This one certainly appears to be over. I know that there's quite a bit of movement in Pennsylvania. Are you guys very familiar? I know that they really just had the Supreme Court, but I want to take a look at it. It looks like all three of those justices. Do you guys have any?
I didn't study this one at all.
The three Democratic justices. Looks like all three of them are going to retain their seats. According to only about 1/3 of the vote in there. I know that there was a lot of Republicans trying to push against them retaining their seats, but it does look like all three of them will retain their seats. And remember, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was the scene of quite a few of the court battles in 2020 with the election. So these things matter.
Were these
These things
three
absolutely matter.
justices? What did these three justices lean or?
They were Democrats. All three
Okay.
Democrats.
So that's good. I didn't know. I didn't even wasn't on my radar at all. It's embarrassing to say.
It was definitely one of the things off of my main radar, but I was aware of it mainly because Republicans kept talking about it. So that's why I paid attention to it. But yes,
I've
it
got
certainly. Oh, and Sherrill looks like he's even built up his lead even more. 300,000 vote lead with 63%. They're clearly calling it because this one is done.
Yeah.
I've got a sleeper election for you guys here. This is
Okay.
close to my town. Let me see here. 18th Congressional District special election that's going on currently in Texas. This is a big one, actually, that I think is, again, being slept on a lot with all of the other states. Right now, I don't believe there's anybody that's currently sitting in this seat because this is the one that Sheila Jackson Lee held and then Turner held, and it's been vacant since because of it. Right now, there is no Republican that's holding on to it. If you are familiar with Isaiah Martin, he's somebody who was on TikTok very heavily.
Follower of Project Liberal.
Yes, he unfortunately is in 5th place. But the good news is that there are 3 Democrats that are in the top 3. So it does look, with about 52% of votes counted currently, that a Democrat will retain that seat. The problem we're going to face in this district is, to be honest with you, are we going to have the same situation that we have going on right now with, I forgot her name, but they're still waiting to swear her in.
Oh, yeah.
Because of fear of her
From
releasing
Arizona.
Yes. So the question is whether or not they will swear this representative in or not. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep an eye on that.
Well, we
that's something
can't
that I
risk
think is
having
really
the
important.
Epstein files out there,
Scary.
Like that would be
Right.
too much.
So I think this is a big one that I think it should be getting more attention, to be honest with you. But I understand that everybody's kind of paying attention to all of the other states and Mamdani and everything else because it's a hot election. But this is one of those districts where Mike Johnson may not swear the winner in.
You're gonna have 2 outstanding Dems. That would be
That would not
nutty.
listen. At this point, I can't really put anything past what they're doing. And
I'm gonna use the restroom.
so
I'll be right back.
absolutely, we've got let's see here. Back again. Looks like New Jersey, Virginia, all of them going towards the Democrats quite handily. Nothing really that close. New Jersey was the one that Republicans were talking about all week. This is the one that was going to be really close and that needed to get out the vote. And I would love to see that same chart that we saw for Virginia on the swing from 2024 from Harris Trump to this election. That would be fascinating to see if that held up true, where basically all of Virginia swung towards the Democrats from the 2024 election. It would be very interesting to see if we see the same thing in New Jersey, because New Jersey was closer than people would thought in 2024, which I think was why Republicans were talking about New Jersey so much. But it does not appear that there is much risk of it even being close in New Jersey with 2/3 of the vote in. There's a 300,000 vote lead. I just don't see where Republicans are going to close that much distance on that one. Mamdani's still got basically the same lead as we saw before, 49.6 to 41.6. That is only an 8-point difference. It's still 100,000. Where's my map here? My map's gone. I took my map away. To try to see where where the votes are still coming in on. So I don't know. Do you think the Republicans will learn the lesson and see what's going on and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe our ideas aren't that popular. Maybe the people voted on Trump because they forgot of how terrible of a president he was the first time around. Maybe people are remembering it. Should we change our ways? Yeah,
they certainly won't come out loud in public and do it. We'll probably see some subtle shifts like we're seeing with MTG. Don't get me wrong. I think MTG is certainly shifting for her own sake and her own tail. But I think if the wave were to go back into MAGA's favor, she would certainly move back that way as well. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh my goodness, she's a Democrat. Let's, no, I don't. I think, but I do think we're going to start seeing some subtle. And no, yeah. She's moved out, like her one toe is outside of the MAGA tent, but she's nowhere near the Democratic tent. But that's the thing, is I think that we're going to start seeing these subtle shifts. I think that it's actually kind of crazy, because call me crazy, it's just a gut feeling. I think we're going to see more votes for reopening the government after this that will start siding with Democrats. I do think this is going to play into that.
No, I think Democrats wanted this in their back pocket as leverage to say, hey, you're losing right now. You might have control of the House, but it ain't for long. And so I think that Democrats are going to come back and I think both sides are going to come back and sit down at the table, and Democrats are going to look at Republicans and say, how badly do you guys want to lose in 26? And Republicans are going to be like, "Oh crap, we need to get this solved, because this is not a good night for Donald Trump. This is a really, really bad night for Donald Trump right now."
I mean,
if there's nothing else to take away from it, it's a bad night.
He was expecting it.
Listen, everyone was. But had he come in?
Hold up. They just called. Hold up, stop. They just called it. CBS just called it for Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yep, CNN just called it. I just populated right here in front of us. That doesn't surprise me. Kind of glad he didn't get 50%, or at least he's not under 50% right now.
Oh, I got some interesting numbers for you guys.
Hit me.
I'm looking at MSNBC. So obviously they're saying that Mamdani is projected to win. But here's the cool number. Mamdani got 677,000 total votes. Oh, never mind. There's total. Right now. Okay, never mind. Kamala Harris got 4,000. I was looking at Manhattan. I'm sorry.
Man, when you're looking at these results, the numbers you get cross-eyed. I know how it goes.
Yeah. So, but it is still interesting to note. So Manhattan went 81% for Kamala Harris, And right now they are at 52% for Mamdani. But I think it's important to note, I do think there may be some Democrats that may have swayed towards Cuomo. I certainly don't think it's the entirety of Cuomo. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, I mean, look. If you look, I'm looking at the numbers right now, and 96% of Manhattan voted for Mamdani and Cuomo. 96%. Like that's a huge number, and you compare that to the fact that Silva is sitting at 8% overall. He only got 3.5% in Manhattan. So that tells you that a lot of Democrats are not happy with Mamdani. I mean, he's still sitting under 50% for the overall vote. But yeah, it's
Right.
interesting. I guess that's not too surprising. Exit polls. This is one thing I haven't dug into, but I think we should. I want to kind of look at these real quick. There was let's see here. Well, I was actually hoping, let's see, New Jersey, because we're looking at, let's see here. There were some, they asked questions. Here we go. Education. There were some exit polls that I thought were really fascinating that showed some really good results. So here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Family financial situation. Getting ahead, holding steady, or falling behind. The people that felt like they were falling behind, 65% went for the Democrats, 33% went for Republican.
That's interesting.
And it's about split on the getting ahead and holding steady. Condition of New Jersey's economy, excellent, good. 73% of them went for the Democrat. Not good, poor. Everybody who thinks that things are bad voted for the
It's so interesting
non-incumbent.
that people who are falling behind voted Democrat, but also people who think think the state is going in the right direction also vote Democrat. That's a very interesting, because you would think that if you're
Right.
falling behind, you would think very poorly of your state. But
Here's what I want to point out. Here's what I want to point out. 80. If you felt angry about the way things are going in the United States, 87% of them voted for the Democrat candidate for New Jersey governor. 87% of people who are angry, which was 39% of people, 40%, almost 40% of voters
Hold up.
said that they were angry about the way things are going.
We have Jay Jones is the NBC projected winner of the attorney general race. Sorry, that's the latest. He's projected. We'll see. NBC called it.
Here's an interesting one on the exit polling for New York mayor. It looks like, hold on. Okay, here we go. Ideology, and this fits in perfectly for Project Liberal. Very liberal, somewhat liberal, moderate, somewhat conservative, and very conservative. It's on the same CNN Politics. If you wanted to bring that up there as well, you could find that. And it shows that 83% that consider themselves very liberal voted for Mamdani. Somewhat liberal, 68% voted for Mamdani, 28% voted for Cuomo. Then we had where the moderates, 51% voted for Cuomo, which kind of lines up. Somewhat conservative, 60% voted for Cuomo, and 27% for Sliwa. And then very conservative, it was kind of split between Sliwa and Cuomo, 48%, 43%. So pretty interesting on those bylines there to see that. I think it's interesting to see that the very liberal seem to be more unified around a candidate than the very conservative, but it's not entirely surprising because there was kind of a supporting from Trump on Cuomo. So I'm not totally surprised by these numbers, but it is just, I don't know, interesting to see that even the very liberal and somewhat liberal voted pretty in large behind Mamdani. So
Again, I wonder how much of the vote for him is a vote for a middle finger for Donald Trump. I wonder if that plays into it, because I know I think about it. Yes.
I'm also
For
wondering if
sure.
it's like a middle finger to like these. I don't know. It's a great question. It's both like there's like
What-
so many different things. There's like there's like it's Trump. There's the establishment. There's Como's history.
Right.
There's Como's history
Yeah.
that also was a problem. There's young versus old. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot, and there's people who just like there's people who just want change. All right, well, free buses.
One of the
for
things,
New
the
York
most
City,
important,
baby.
I want to go to look at the exit polling for Virginia in a second, but the one thing, the most important issue facing New Jersey, crime was only at 3% of voters, immigration at 7%. That's really bad news for Trump
Right.
and Republicans.
Really
because
bad.
Those are the issues that they're. 32% said the economy, but then 2/3 of the voters who said it was the economy voted Democrat. Healthcare was at 16%, taxes at 36%, which New Jersey does have very high taxes. So if taxes was your most important issue, you were 2/3 as likely to vote for the Republicans and Democrats. And this is something that Democrats need to learn. Let's talk to you, Democrats. You need to be competitive with Republican states. And you do that by lowering some damn taxes.
And
If you want to, this is an existential threat to the United States. Allow building. Allow people to build housing. Reduce the taxes. This isn't rocket science. I live in Texas. The only reason Texas is red is because of Democrat policies in other states. Because Democrats are forcing voters to move to Texas. And if you poll Texas-born voters, they are by and large Democrats. Texas would be blue right now if Democrats didn't fuck up their own states. Like, let that sink in for a second. So listen, Democrats, Republican governors, legislatures, fix your shit. If you want to save America, fix your shit so people aren't moving out of your state. That's what you got to do. I'm sorry, I know you don't like it, but that's what you got to do. And I mean that's true. You could turn Texas blue by doing that. So that's my 2 cents right there.
Yeah,
on
it's
on that. But I do want to go to
it's enormously
go to exit
frustrating
polls
because
of
it
Virginia.
just feels so simple, but there's a lot of unions. I went to a rally for Democrats, and one of the heads of one of the unions that's really popular in my state was like, there's some people who like this whole abundance agenda. Like Democrats are very pro-union, and I'm not anti-union, but they are definitely, there has to be a bridge between abundance and unions, or this is going to be a tough sell for Dems ultimately.
Here's an interesting one.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, say view of Republican Party in Virginia. I wanted to go to Virginia governor's race instead of New York City's mayoral race because I feel like that would have been a little bit kind of meh. View of Republican Party. This is crazy. I'll show you the Democrat here in a second. It's a strongly
Hey, can you stream it?
unfavorable.
Can you stream your screen so that we can see it?
Yeah. Let me do
It'd be a
that.
whole lot easier to follow along.
I agree. Let me get it.
That especially that, so that I don't have a screen with completely different numbers and people are wondering what's going on.
Let me get that pulled up here just in a second. I think this is it.
There we go.
Okay. So you guys can see here, strongly unfavorable is 41 for the view of the Republican Party, and 11% say somewhat unfavorable, which puts it at about a 52% unfavorable rating.
Wow.
But look at the Democratic Party. It's also at 52% unfavorable. So,
But notice still 1/5 of all people who said the Democratic Party was unfavorable, they had an unfavorable view, still voted for a Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
One
a
out
good
of
point.
5. 1 out of 5 people who said that they had unfavorable view of the Democratic Party, and that's just what I was saying earlier, is that people have an unfavorable opinion of the Democratic Party because they're not standing up to Trump enough.
I want
So
to also say
I
one
think
other thing.
I think that's yeah.
The other thing that I have to say on that's a big thing. Like we need to there's 3 things. Number 1, harder stand up to Trump. That's number 1. Number 2, like we need a national mission as a country. Like Donald Trump has a national mission for this country. It's to make America great again. And I'm not saying that like that's obviously like this undefined just statement, but like it's motivating, it's cool sounding, right? Democrats just like, even like Bernie Sanders, who I think is the closest, even his is just like, I want to make things affordable and I want to, make things better life for people. I think it's a solid message, but I'm looking for like a real, like, what is America's purpose in the world today? Why are we here? Why are we building? Why do we care about life? So we need a national mission. The third thing, and I absolutely will stand by this, if you compare left-wing to right-wing media, it's not even close to being like, it's insulting like how different they are. Like, you go to right-wing media and they are kissing Trump's butt 24/7, even to this moment. Even
Propaganda
to this
machine.
I remember, so Ben Shapiro, I was listening to Ben Shapiro talk about the Qatari plane scandal. And I was like, oh, like Ben hates Qatar, so like surely he's gonna go hard into the paint on this one. And his literal argument, check this, he said, I don't support the Qatari plane thing because it's not conducive to passing our agenda. He didn't mention that this is a moral failing to take a $400 million jet.
It's corruption.
As a personal donation to the Trump Foundation, whatever. He said that's the very careful language that they cultivate and have cultivated in order to keep their vibes up. Meanwhile,
the emperor is wearing the most beautiful clothes you've ever seen.
Meanwhile, go look at how the left wing talked about like Harris. Okay. You have like Majority Report was dogging Harris the entire election. They did ultimately endorse her, but they dogged her the entire election. The Young Turks, Cenk Uygur flirted with voting for RF Kennedy Jr. the entire election until he dropped out, then reluctantly endorsed Harris. Anna Kasparian did not, and to this day does not regret not endorsing, Harris. Like all of these assorted left-wing, organizations. I'm not asking them to kiss like, Trump's butt, but like, even if you look at David Packman and Brian Tyler Cohen, who I love, by the way, they're not like kissing Democratic butt like Republicans are kissing Republican butt. Like there's just this.
Nor would you want them to.
I don't want them to, but like we have to get our vibes in order, and that starts with the media environment to make sure that we're actually, we've got to make people feel good, and like it just doesn't feel like sometimes the left is able to really stand by their candidate unless he has a Nazi tattoo on his chest. You know what I'm saying?
Vince, go to that number with the with Trump, the one you were looking at before, the on immigration enforcement. Yes, this is this is interesting right here.
This is New York City, so everybody's clear. 59% said they want to see the next mayor not cooperate with the Trump admin. 59%. Only 36% said to cooperate the Trump admin. And to be very clear, this number, for anybody who's unaware, this is about what we expect usually in polling. This is what we've seen. It hovers around the 30%, which is usually those who kind of really support the Trump administration. So this is not a total surprise by this number, but this one is, and it's important too when we talk about New York City. I believe New York City is one of the ones that Trump has eyeballed to particularly go in pretty heavy-handed. And this looks like a pretty strong referendum on the Trump administration saying they want this next mayor to not cooperate with the Trump administration whatsoever on this.
Interesting that 26% of the people who wanted, who still voted Cuomo. So I would expect that if you had a normal Democrat candidate, that crowd, that 26% there that would not want them to cooperate with the Trump administration, that would have gone towards the normal Democrat candidate.
Correct.
An interesting.
Yeah, I think Cuomo kind of really. I think it's a mix. I think Mamdani. So Cuomo, nobody really likes Cuomo that are pretty staunchly, Democrat. But the thing about it is Mamdani, I think, like you said, this goes back to the policies are there. Like Democrats, we really, the Democratic Party really has their eyeball set on the right policies. But now, like you've been saying, they really need to focus in on those. I'll put it this way. I think they do need to still follow in on a more moderate-ish candidates. That's what they need to focus on, because that seems to be where the appetite is at, and that's exhibited by this 26% for Cuomo.
I've heard that the ideal candidate is the angry moderate, if you will, the like Jasmine Crockett. It doesn't really have like very radical, like she doesn't self-identify as like a socialist or anything, but she's like, she gets out there, she gets in people's faces, she's agitated. Like that's what I'm being told is like what's hot right now. Real quick while I have the mic. So they called it for Zoran. He has expanded his lead. He was polling just like he had an 8% difference. Now it's 9.1 difference. Mamdani is broken the 50% threshold. He's at 50.5% of the vote. 15% of the vote yet to be counted, but he's definitely seems like it's been called for him. My question to you all is like, what can we draw from the Jay Jones race? He is currently, it's been called for him. He is only up 4%, which is not, this is sort of, Attorney General is not really like the most high profile race. Combined with Democrats are supposed to be significantly overperforming in midterms. 4% isn't that impressive. Do you think it was the scandal?
Well, especially,
what do you think?
Especially, again, he's, the Democrat for governor got 56.3%. The lieutenant governor Democrat got 54.4%. And then Jay Jones it just ticked to 52%. So he is polling, 2 or 3 percentage points behind. So I think that's the number of people who saw what he had to say and cared. I think that a lot of people didn't see what he had to say, and then or saw it and didn't really care.
Yeah, so this is
yes.
really
I wanted to
interesting.
go into these exact numbers, Vince, as well. Yeah, I had these pulled up as well.
These are from Virginia, and it's showing Trump administration immigration actions have 53% said gone too far. This is similar to what we have seen kind of a little bit with New York City. And been about right is only 29%. They're losing on the immigration front. Where they are, if I had to say, I don't want to dare say winning, but gone too far on support for trans rights in society is 52%. Not gone far enough is only 23%, and been about right is 22%. Abortion should be, I like this one down here versus these are kind of like they break it up a little bit. The abortion should be legal. So I think if I were Democrats, I'd be really honing in on some of this and going, okay, where are our winning issues here? And really push in on those real hard, right? I mean, I think that's what they need to do here based on what the polling I'm seeing. I think it's following along with every poll that we're seeing that they need the immigration is not popular with this Trump administration. They've gone way too far in this. And we're seeing where the push for crime has been wholly unnecessary.
Jumping into,
do we have the most important issue? There we go. The most important issues facing. Look at that. 47% said that the economy was the most important issue.
Not shocking.
And damn near 60%. It was a 60-40 issue. This is the topic that it should be the Republicans' biggest strength is the economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's wild.
Yeah.
Jumping into our chat, someone, Papa Duke, informing us that JD Vance's half brother has lost the Cindy mayoral race. So it's not been a good week for the Vance.
One of the brothers that still liked him or not?
It's not been a good week for the Vance family, Usha specifically as well. Those
poor
you
kids.
went there with Usha.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sorry. Was that too far? Was it not far
no,
enough?
you could have said something about.
I mean,
you could have said something
listen.
about something
JD Vance is just following along the MAGA tradition of selling out your wife for political talking points.
That's true, actually.
Like Ted Cruz did it back
Ted
in the
Cruz.
day. Like this is just the MAGA tradition. They do not stand up for their wives at all, one bit. Ever.
Someone in our chat
they are.
had written that Mamdani winning on the day that Dick Cheney died was something out of Shakespeare. I made that joke earlier. I said that Dick Cheney knew that a Muslim was going to win mayor of New York City and peaced out. Like he's like, all right, I refuse to.
But look at this. I think this is something, again, we talked about the sleeper congressional district. Look at this. The second biggest issue facing Virginians is healthcare. Not even education or immigration or crime. It is healthcare. And as we know, and my parents who voted for Trump are facing this exact same dilemma. As we know, the one big beautiful bill stripped away a lot of Medicaid and Medicare for people who are, quote unquote, not working, but nonetheless, it's stripping healthcare away from numerous millions of Americans, which, by the way, Democrats are right now pushing for in this shutdown. They're not pushing necessarily for illegal immigrants to get health care. For anyone who's unaware, essentially the Democrats have put forth a resolution to get rid of, I believe it's Section B of the healthcare portion of the One Big Beautiful Bill. And within that bill, and within that portion of the bill, it specifically references undocumented migrants and defines what those are in regards to Medicare or something like that. So Republicans have twisted this. They found like the poison pill, if you will, for why they're saying that is why they're saying the Democrats are advocating for that. That's not what they're trying to do. Democrats are trying to get rid of all of those little stipulations that Republicans put in place in the One Big Beautiful Bill to strip away healthcare from the millions of Americans. They won't talk about that, but that's what it is. And that's why I point to this 21% for healthcare, because there will come a time where those millions of Americans will lose their health care. I believe it goes into effect either next year or I believe it's actually at the end of next year after the midterms. They did that on purpose. So when that does happen, you will see a big shift here. And to your earlier point, I'll land my plane here. When you were talking about 2028, this is also very important because you may see where come the end of next year when those provisions get put into place by Republicans, assuming that Democrats don't win on this battle, it could totally shift the landscape for 2028 when people are looking at it going, well, I don't have healthcare anymore.
Yeah.
I think, well, and, Trump years and years ago said that he was going to have his plan out 2 weeks. And here we are. Like, at what point are voters going to
They should have figured
hold
it
their feet
out.
to the fire on that issue?
Yeah, good joke.
One thing I want to do here, I'm going to take over the stream real quick.
Well, we're being hijacked.
Is this?
Can I go ahead? I have something to talk about when you're
Could
done.
you cancel your Vince? You can't. There we go.
Yep.
For some reason, it wouldn't let me take it over. Give me 2 seconds here. Let's pull this up. Did it share it? Is it sharing it?
I see
I don't see
nothing.
anything.
You see nothing?
I see
Let me
dead
stop
people.
this and restart it here. Right?
While you're doing that, quick point.
There we go. There we
All right,
go.
well, there goes that.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. You finish your thing.
I was just gonna say, I was reading. I'm just reading some headlines, some lesser interesting, I shouldn't say interesting, but lesser viewed topics here. We've got in Maine, voters approve a red flag law. I can go into detail on what that is, and they have also rejected a voter ID law. That's up in Maine and so that's traditionally that's Susan Collins' territory. She's going to be that's midterms. That's 1 year from today, basically, is where that's coming down. So it seems like the voter base there. What is that? Does that tell us anything? Is that interesting that voter ID law failed to pass?
What was it close? Was it large?
Let's look.
That would be my next question in there. While you're looking that up, I do want to talk about I thought this was really interesting. In both Virginia and New Jersey, Republicans have been talking about how young people are turning Republican. They're turning to MAGA. Well, in New Jersey, it certainly isn't the case. Everyone, I mean, my goodness, just not even close. But everybody under 44 years of age voted for the Democrats by a 60-something% margin in New Jersey, and then again in Virginia, it was the exact same thing. Anybody under 40 again, over 60% margin. Anybody under 50 almost voted for the Democrat, and it wasn't really even close. So this idea that young people are turning towards the MAGA coalition is certainly not holding true in this election.
So real quick, I have to look up the other one. So the voter ID fails 60% of the vote. 60% said no. So, And then for main question 2, which was about the gun restriction, that is the red flag law passed with 58%. So this is about like a 20, just under 20% margins on both of these, just under.
Interesting. I don't know that you can deal too much to that. I know my Maine is a fairly purple state. It's not particularly a bellwether state. It is certainly in the Northwest, so it kind of has some of those biases, but I don't know that you can really lean too much into it. I think that, you know, I don't know that there's. Let me ask this: is there anything guys could say if I'm a Republican operative right now? What am I pointing at that is a victory? Is there anything today that's a victory? Like
less border crossings, you could argue.
No. Like in the elections.
Oh, the election.
Today. Like is there anything that they can point to and say, oh yeah, we got something here? And I'm looking at this going, boy, the race in New Jersey that they said was going to be close was not close at all. Virginia race, even the attorney general, which was, you know, he said some horrible things, even that didn't turn for him. They've got to be looking at this going, oh boy, the midterms are going to be rough.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
They're probably thinking to themselves, I'm glad we gerrymandered.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really, the problem is we just saw, for example, in that Virginia polling, which I think is a really good poll, showing that their best chance that really puts them in their favor is really just the trans issues. But the problem is that that's not a key issue for almost any American. So where they want to see a big win, they're not seeing it, right? They're not winning on immigration. They're not winning on the economy. I mean, those are, and certainly not winning on healthcare by any stretch of the means. And mind you, the SNAP benefits is a real thing happening right now. So the tabletop issues, they're losing on all fronts. You can maybe, if you want to give them anything, any kind of participation trophy, because we all know Republicans hate participation trophies. The best we could give them is maybe it looks like that they retained one House seat from what I'm seeing early reports coming out of. I didn't know that there was one, but it says Virginia 8 House District 99 incumbent Ann Farrell Tata has beaten Kat Porterfield. So they maintain a GOP hold. But I don't even know if that's I'm gonna check that right now. Hold on one second.
I'm just curious. Like,
I would be really interested in comparing it to, because looking at what it came out this election and then compare it to the previous election and see what we could, if we could see any trends there. Because
okay, so this is
just
just
a plus 20.
This is a Virginia House of Delegates district, so it's not even really like congressional district.
Sure,
okay.
Right.
So matters almost nothing.
Right. Which district was it again?
Virginia House Delegate and
did I just lose?
Oh, I think did we just? I think you cut out there. What was it?
Cut out.
It's HD 99.
Okay.
So you might have to find it buried in there somewhere. It's one of those like small little elections that matters almost nothing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see here.
Silwa's officially conceded the election. Not that the meme candidate of the general election has conceded, ladies and gentlemen. Also to the viewers at home, so basically every election is just kind of wrapped in like an hour, basically, is what happened. 2 hours? 2 hours. In 2 hours, all the major elections wrapped. And the
polls came in.
I was just going to say one thing, which is there is still one major election still to be decided, as the polls are still open in California for Prop 50. We're still kind of waiting on those results and those things. But supposedly this is
those don't close down for another
55
2 hours,
minutes.
right?
No, 55 minutes.
Oh, another hour. Okay, gotcha. Boy, I am reading through Scott Pressler's Twitter feed right now.
He's
he
probably
is
not super happy.
All up in arms about how those Pennsylvania Supreme Court justices shut us down during COVID.
He was Scott Pressler's thing is he was going like relentless in Pennsylvania. The one thing I've noticed, I feel like we don't have like We don't. There's the
Let's
left
actually
doesn't have
turn.
a chart.
I'm going to look at this real quick.
The left doesn't have
We've
a
got
Charlie Kirk or a
50
Scott Pessler. You know that? No, we do kind of. We have Stacey Abrams, Georgia.
Boy, but not to that level.
No,
Not to that
Scott's
level.
big.
I'm
Maybe
looking at the
Project Liberal
Supreme
should do
Court
that.
election results. Right. I'm looking at the election, the Supreme Court votes. Boy, it doesn't like all three Supreme Court justices are a yes at 62%. There's 56% of the vote, 57% of the vote in on these, and they're all sitting at about 62%. Yes, keep their seats. So it does not like unless some votes come in where I just don't see them coming in, and I don't like they are looking. They're needing like 450,000 votes to come in, and then in the next 30% of the votes. So I just do not see the Democrats Supreme Court justices in Pennsylvania getting kicked out despite Republicans' best efforts. So I'm looking at this going, where are Republicans going to find anything? I just don't see
This has not been a
where
good week.
they're going to be able to find a good one.
It's
Not going to be a good week.
I mean, it's not
for
been a good week.
Republicans.
You've got like number one, you have this breakdown in this election. Like we have this failed election, but internally, like MAGA had that they've had this this Tucker Carlson versus Ben Shapiro internal division thing that like Ben and Tucker have been like able to survive together because of Trump's meme magic. Like Trump has this weird meme magic where like he'll be like, I love Israel, and Tucker's like, all right, sounds good. I don't care. I hate that country, but like, let's do it. And then he can also be like, I love tariffs, and Ben Shapiro's like, all right, well, that's all good for me. Like, I hate tariffs, but like, you're a meme king, so I guess I have to vote. Like, they've been held together, and now we're starting to see those fractures, those fissures start to form a little bit in this coalition. It is kind of crazy to watch Tucker, like Ben has been in this last thing I'm gonna say. Ben has been in like the online space for like a decade, and then Tucker, when he like blew past him in like 2-3 years, in the online space, like carried his Fox News popularity into the online space very efficiently. So it's very interesting. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
So they got. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, John. Yeah, John. What was your thoughts?
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to give some numbers for everybody to compare. So for Virginia's governor race, the total votes right now for Abigail Spanberger are 1.6 million with 88% votes brought in. Kamala Harris did 2.3 million. And important to note, Kamala Harris had 51% compared to Spanberger's 56%. Spanberger did a 5% increase over Kamala Harris. So sizable numbers there. So I'll keep looking at some of those numbers to compare them to previously. I'll see. I think New Jersey governor's up, right? I was thinking.
Yeah, New Jersey should have some. You should be able to get some good. I don't know what percentage they are the votes, and they're at 83% in on that. So yeah, we're seeing a very large turnout. Very large turnout this year for sure. Certainly
New Jersey,
yeah.
New Jersey's seeing similar results. Very similar results. Kamala Harris at 51%. Kamala Harris at 51, and Mickey Cheryl, I might mess up her name there, 56%. Another 5% gain. So I think we're going to start seeing some 5% across the boards here. Would not be surprised if we see something similar in the New York City area.
Jay Jones extended his lead by 5%. Or he's
By
already
5%?
He's sorry, 5%. Thank you. 5%.
Oh, gotcha.
But he's already
cue all the Republicans tweeting out that 52% of Virginians want us dead.
The most annoying part about it is like it's just how many people are like the thing is like it's just the song and dance where like
Oh
just-
yeah,
I
they're
just
just
hate-
trying to
I
make
just hate
political
the song and
capital out
dance
of it. They do
because
not
it's-
actually care what he says.
And the problem is it's reversed because the Democrats would like jump pounce on it if it was reversed, and the
Oh
Republicans
sure.
would be driving the same. It's just like I can't like this stuff is so fake. Like it's like who falls for this? Like okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's reasons not to vote for somebody. That would certainly make me question a vote for somebody if I saw that. So, yeah.
Colin Rugg.
Let's see here.
Colin Rugg on X put on here showing the poly market odds going up significantly now for Democratic Party to take over the House in 2026.
Let's pull that up.
It's like 70% to 31% right now, and he pretty much said on here that Republicans have work to do. So
Yeah,
don't
They
know
need to like
there's
actually.
any way.
They need to govern. Is I think the big. They need to do this thing called governing. It's not.
yeah. Here we go. Look at these numbers right here.
Oh,
Wow.
if we can just get our vibes on point, I think we're just like in a sweep. But like that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
tweet this
looking
out
rough.
right now.
Out of
Yeah,
curiosity,
that's,
do they out of
yeah.
curiosity, do we have any poly market numbers on if they're going to take the Senate? I'm curious about that. That's an interesting one. That's like
I don't know.
one out of
That the path to the Senate. Here we
it's
go.
very
Yeah.
tricky.
So the path to the Senate is really difficult.
It's you
I
have
mean,
to
it's
defend.
definitely swung a little bit.
You
but
have to defend 2 purple seats, like flip 2 purple seats, and then flip a red seat. It's really tough.
Yeah, the ones that are going to be tough, I think it says senators whose terms of service expire in 27, which I believe are the ones who would end up having to be would be part up in the midterms. The Republicans that we'd be really concerned about. We have there's not a whole long list of them.
Yeah.
Shelley Moore Capito, Republican, West Virginia. Bill Cassidy, Republican from these are Republicans, so I'll just say the state. Louisiana. Susan Collins from Maine.
She's vulnerable.
John Cornyn from Tech.
He's
She might be vulnerable
semi-vulnerable.
in that aspect. Yeah, John Cornyn's there. Tom Cotton. I think he's been pretty. Has he been pretty pro MAGA? I think I haven't
Yes.
paid attention.
oh
much
yeah,
to them.
Tom Cotton.
Yes.
Yes, very.
Okay,
He's as
Gotcha.
much as it gets.
gotcha.
He's a full-on
Steve-
cult member.
Steve Daines in Montana, that one's probably going to be pretty solid on them. Joni Ernst from Iowa. Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, that one's probably going to stay solid
Yeah.
on Lindsey's there. Bill Haggerty, not familiar with him, from Tennessee. Cindy Hyde Smith from Mississippi. Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming. Roger Marshall, Kansas. Mitch McConnell, good old Mitch, but he's from Kentucky.
He's
There's no
retiring.
way I see that going.
Well, he's retired.
Yeah, I don't see that going the way of a Democrat.
No.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
So yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, I think what I think what people need to understand is how rigged in favor of Republicans our government is. Our system
Yeah,
of government
The
is.
Senate is yeah. I said we need to organize. We need to get together and we need to organize a mission to Wyoming. 150,000 of us. It doesn't even need to be 150,000. It's like you just need 100,000 more people in Wyoming, and you flip the state at every level. That's it.
Cool fact that I learned about because a racist mentioned it on Twitter. But
It's always a great way
Virginia
to learn something.
did in fact the
I
lieutenant
learned this thing
governor
from a
of Virginia.
racist and go for it.
Hey, is the first Muslim woman elected to a statewide office in American history. Virginia Lieutenant Governor Ghazala Hashmi. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry, but that is a cool fact.
Wow.
So I did not know that that was. I did not know that that was. I did not know that that was a possibility, but that is an interesting fact. So
That's fun.
I'm sure a lot of people are coping and seething about that one.
yeah,
Tears are
this
delicious.
I do agree. This is what I was saying. I think the most likely outcome next year is that Democrats will probably flip the House. And I do suspect that, again, like you said, the Democratic Party is hungry for the angry moderate. Or it was what was it you, Oren, that you said?
Yeah.
So I think what you're going to see is you will see impeachment hearings. I do expect that to happen. I think you're going to have a deadlocked you're going to have a deadlocked Congress, right? I don't think you're going to see a lot of momentum in terms of passing much of anything. However, I will say that I do think that depending on the attitude after this night and the midterms, you may get more Republicans on the Democratic side to work in a cooperative manner. So that's the wild card right now. We'll wait to see.
There's got to be a signal here, a message being sent, and Republicans have to be listening to that and realizing, especially the ones in districts that are they're on the hot seat in their district. They've got to be looking at this, going, "Oh crap! If I just toe the MAGA line, I'm not going to get reelected." You know that there is at least a handful of them sitting there thinking that. And so I do wonder how much leverage this gives Democrats, both in the government shutdown and in the upcoming days regarding, like, say, the Epstein files or other projects going forward.
Can we just acknowledge, by the way, about how crazy it is that every time Donald Trump, he's like Midas, right? Except everything he touches doesn't turn to gold, it turns to garbage. Anytime he supports a sports team, they flop. Anytime he supports a candidate, they flop. And it's gotten to JD Vance as well, because JD Vance supports somebody and they flop. Every time these people support somebody outwardly, they flop. It is baffling to me how badly
I don't understand it.
They're just not listening to his record. Nobody cares about nobody cares what Donald says. They just care about his feeling. Like, they just care. Like, he makes them feel something, and they like that. And so it's just his endorsement has never had any weight. Period.
Should we do a quick scroll through the coping and seething on Twitter real quick?
That would be fun.
I feel like we should.
I got nothing. We've got nothing else to do for the next 40 minutes. All the elections got determined too
winning
quickly.
The Attorney General. Yes.
Oh, Benny Johnson. This is going to be some premium cope. Zoom in a little bit more, please.
Yes. Democrats support the idea of Republicans and the children being murdered.
That's exactly what that election. That was 100% of what the referendum was about. Private conversation.
Right.
Some text messages.
Right. Oh, and look, it's all third worlders that voted because Mamdani. Yeah.
I love that. It's my favorite. Like, you don't have to even like Mamdani. Like you'll fuck him. But like, oh, it's all third worlder. It's literally white people. It's literally his base is white people. If only people of color voted,
wild.
Como would have swept.
Listen. I live in Plano, Texas. I have been around Hispanics. I have been around the Latino community. They are not socialist in any way, shape, or form. They are conservative family people that work hard, want to keep their money. They're not that interested in social issues that much. The younger ones born in America certainly are. But like the immigrants just come over here, they don't care about all of those things. They really don't.
If you want to see
it's
how
wild to me that people come up with these things.
If you want to see how not socialist those Hispanics are, call them Latinx, and they'll tell you exactly.
Yes, exactly. That's a great example. Let's see here. Democrats are a real political party. The GOP is a set of beautiful losers. I see. Just a fey days ago, they're talking about how they massively won the election, and now we're already going to see this turn. We saw these cracks with Fuentes and everything, and now that the political victories aren't there, what's going to start happening to these coalitions?
No,
I really think that this is the issue we have to hammer on. This is the thing we have to say is like, yes, all these people jumped on board with you because you won elections. Well, now you're not winning elections anymore. Now you're not as popular as you thought you were.
Dude, the MAGA base can't even like hold the Indians down anymore with their like blatant racism. Like,
well, keep in mind, I just looked at the religion. I just looked at the religious exit polling for New York City mayor. 21% were Protestant or other Christian. This is just total, right? Mm-hmm. Like the total respondents. 28% were Catholic. 41% of the Protestant or other Christian voted for Mamdani. The Catholics, 28% that were Catholic, 30% voted for Mamdani. And then the Jewish people, which is the one Donald Trump went after the Jewish people in New York City, 15% of the 15% that voted, 31% voted for Mamdani. 60%
plurality?
voted for Cuomo.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big-
So of the Jewish bloc, 31% voted for Mamdani. Now you have the other religious affiliation, which is 14%, which is a small minority of that. And yes, 67% of the 14% voted for Mamdani, but that's not the totality of it, right? That's a smaller portion. So a large group of basically Christian, Catholics, and Jewish people voted for Mamdani. So the idea that these were all Muslims that voted for Mamdani is just factually incorrect.
Something
Well,
else
I mean,
to-
listen, don't you understand that the Jewish population in America is only like a few percentage points, but they
Two.
control everything. So obviously the Muslim population is a little bit more than that. So they must control even more. Like this is the logic we're dealing with here. But I just love
Yeah.
Jack Posobiec. Thank goodness somebody conservative pundits
We're losing you, Jonathan.
out the vote. We're listening. You lost me?
You
lose
broke
me?
up on like every other.
know.
Oh, really?
those are really
Well, where's
big.
my video? Where'd my video go?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I think I knocked my cord. Hang on. Can you still hear me?
Oh, the mock.
Yeah, I see.
I don't know how I knocked the cord loose. Let me try this again here.
Richard Hanania. Dude, I have such a love-hate relationship with him because he was a Trump supporter.
I know.
And a publisher of fucking Project 2025, but he has such bangers sometimes. Can you scroll back up real quick? Real quick.
Yeah, hang on.
I
Sorry,
have-
I'm trying to get my camera back up and going. I don't know
No
how
worries.
I lost it. I think I
Really quick, it's
Who's
frustrating that we have to say this, but but considering all the election denialism 24/7, this is worth mentioning.
Which one?
The Jack Ciattarelli, sorry, you don't have to scroll up. Jack Ciattarelli, who was campaigning against for the New Jersey governor race, has officially and formally conceded. Is not going to be like contesting. He's not going down this election denialism chain. They've conceded. Oh, thank God! You gotta. It's just we're at the point where it's like you gotta hand it. You gotta hand it to them. You know, he conceded the election. Okay. What else is going? Oh yeah. Wait. So, what did Jack Posobiec say? Who's this Vince Wilson dude? I'm just kidding.
Hey, who's this guy? Who's this guy? You know?
Well, I just love this. 2026 will be worse if we don't course correct.
You're gonna fucking cry.
So
Like, how do you course correct if you're the GOP? No on tariffs.
Oh yeah, you have
Triple
sold
down
out.
on race. I'm kidding. Triple down on
Yeah.
on immigration.
Yeah.
You should go and see Matt
Yeah,
Walsh's freak out. He had a
boy.
meltdown. His meltdown was.
Why are they melting down? They know how this was gonna go. Did they really
Because
think that they had a
won so
shot? This
bigly.
election?
They won
If
so
you scroll
bigly, they
down-
thought that everything was just going to win. It was such a dominant victory by Trump that every
Oh my god, dude! Half of Twitter is just lol.
beautiful, magical. They were in charge of the country for the next decade.
Brother, you
They
are
got
you
him.
are cutting out.
They got him. The MAGA. They heard the bat signal.
They are shutting me down.
Oh man.
I don't know where.
36
Oh,
minutes
man.
until we get our prop. Till we get
Yeah, see,
our
that's
beloved-
what's going to be interesting. Is let's see here.
Apparently,
If you scroll down
supposedly.
on that,
supposedly
I might
coming
let give me like I might go use the restroom, take a little bit of a break, try to fix my camera, and I'll be back on. So I'm gonna hand
All
it
right.
off to you guys for a few minutes here.
Let me
while I try to
go down.
this
then.
out.
Let
You might
me-
want to stop sharing your
But I will-
screen too, if you
I
want.
will.
I'll
will.
go. I'll go
All
into.
right, I'll be right back.
I'll bust open the good stuff here real quick. One sec.
So I'll just put on. The Matt Walsh was saying, and this is wild to me too as well, because the Republicans are very quick to clutch their pearls and say we need to tone down the rhetoric and things
Not
of that
Matt
nature.
Walsh.
And then you go right to what his freak out is tonight. And it's quite explicit. basically saying that the Democrats are coming to your city and they're going to, in so many TikTok language, unalive everybody in your city. It is baffling to watch the Republican freak out in real time. And of course, they don't watch their rhetoric, but they want to silence their opposition with their rhetoric. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting to see the turnout. I don't know. Trump posted on Truth Social saying Trump wasn't on the ballot, quote unquote. It said Trump wasn't on the ballot and shut down were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. And he said, they were in quote, and it said according to pollsters. I don't know why Trump posted that, but yeah, he posted that. So
Yeah. Why does Trump do anything? How do you share in a dark mode? If I share my screen in light mode, you guys are not going to judge me.
you're a psychopath if you use light mode. All right.
I just never switched it. I'm not a psychopath.
You go to, I think, more settings, and there's like some kind of a thing there.
I'm just gonna have to wait. I'm just kidding.
There you go. Oh man, Riser said that it's 3:24 a.m. My goodness, man. I am sorry for the time that you are up, but you are up during a great time. I definitely like doing like the midterms and stuff like that. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't do my research as much as I would have wanted to, but this is still pretty decent with what we're seeing. Like I said, I'm still waiting for the 18th congressional district to update, but it definitely looks like a Democrat will retain that seat. And again, the question is whether or not Mike Johnson's going to end up swearing them in, and that'll be remain to be seen.
God, this is like insane. That like he's already been a month. Like this woman's lost a month of her term. That's like an incredible insult.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think, and you know, we talk about the Epstein files, we still don't have a solid grip on what is in those, right? I mean, they're still supposed to release them, and it makes you wonder: did MTG see something in those files?
No,
that
you wouldn't trust
so
someone
I don't
that
know.
crazy with the Epstein files. No shot. I would not in 100 years. Like, hey MTG, you miss Jewish space lasers here. Why don't you take a little peek into like this highly classified thing? Like, no, she has the biggest mouth and like this. No, Lord, no. Like,
yeah, she actually went on The View. That I don't know if you saw that. She went on The View today, I think it was, and she was like, "Yeah, I bought into that," and like she basically recanted on it. But it's funny because as soon as MTG starts stepping down, someone more crazy takes her place, and that's kind of like been Nancy Mace. I mean, she's been kind of crazy for the past several months, but Nancy Mace has kind of stepped into that role now, where she has started to really embody that. She had recently had a security incident at an airport, and they didn't really specify to what extent that security incident was involved, but she was involved in that. So, you know, nothing like the cast on the arm incident, right?
yeah, she's so nasty. She just slurs people out for fun. Like,
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
oh, I'm literally just on my own now. Okay, that's cool. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Let's look at some headlines real quick. See what we can find. Someone from the audience want to join? Nah. No worries. All right, you're back. Whew, that was tough. I'm just wondering.
Entertained for a few minutes.
We've got 11% left on the New York City race. I'm just curious if Zoran's going to break 50, or is he going to maintain 50? He's at 50.3 with 11% left. Will be interesting to watch. Let's look at some CNN headlines.
Yeah, he's still up at 50, which is good. I'm curious to see Staten Island. Staten Island is at 22%. Where did... Trying to see how Kamala Harris did. I'm trying to keep an eye on that. I feel like that is kind of a good litmus test, if you will, of where things are going. 1 second. Okay, we're still live, so I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. I was like, I didn't see Jonathan, so I was like,
And then
let's
it looks
check.
like, oh, where'd he go?
He dipped out. I don't know where he went.
All right, looks like we're on our own. I'll pull up the X account. I was waiting for him to do
There
it,
we
but
go.
I'll do it so we can go look at some nice coke.
I'm gonna pull up New York. I want to see how Kamala Harris did for Staten Island. Let's see. So in New York, it looks like that's the Senate. Hold on 1 second. Trying to find the presidential election. There it is. All right. So for the presidential election, Kamala Harris did 34% on Staten Island. This time around, Zohran Mamdani only ended up getting 22%. Like I said, I think it's important to note that Sliwa ended up still getting some votes. The interesting one on this one, though, is I thought Eric Adams dropped out, but he still managed to get a few votes. He got like 300 votes.
He dropped out too late to actually.
That's
He
right.
was still on the ballot, but yes, he did drop out. He was gone.
Well, he went gone completely because it's wild to look at some of these numbers, and it just shows you how well informed some people are. Because he got 325 votes on Staten
But yes, he did
Island.
drop
Actually, let me
out.
go to view all candidates. He managed to get, even though he dropped out, he managed to get 6,229 votes, which is kind of crazy to think about. And keep in mind too, one of the things I forgot about the New York City mayoral race is they tried a last minute Hail Mary with this. If any of y'all were paying attention on X, they were alleging that there was some kind of a fraud because Zohran Mamdani's name appeared multiple times on the election ballot, but that is because he was part of numerous parties and won the primary specifically for the Democratic primary. So that was reason why his name appeared multiple times. And they even debunked it by showing Andrew Cuomo's name appearing multiple times. I don't remember the year. I think it was like 12, 13 or 14, somewhere around there, that ballpark. It appeared multiple times. So it's interesting to me to see the last ditched Hail Marys that the MAGA was trying to pull to really not get Zohran Mamdani. Now, what it will be interesting to see is how far do they double down on Zohran Mamdani, because keep in mind, they've
Spooky
already
Russell.
advocated for removing his citizenship
Yeah.
and getting him deported. So they're not done. I don't think they'll be done with it.
They've also floated the idea of invoking the 14th Amendment for the Insurrection Act, which there are numerous problems with that whole legal theory.
In
but
case
again,
of
the
Muslim
biggest thing
winning,
is
break
you'd have to get 2/3, right? Exactly. You'd have to get 2/3 of the House and the Senate to go along with this, and that is not happening. I can guarantee that.
Way. Alvin Bragg won the election.
Which
Pull it
election
up.
is this?
Alvin Bragg for the Manhattan District Attorney won. This is according to
Your
Call to
webcam's
Activism,
really
but
mad about it. It was hilarious.
Oh, is it freaking out?
It was. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
Now you're clear.
Okay.
Pull it up.
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Getting it pulled up. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Oh, here we go. All right, I got it right here. Oh, of course, it's New York Times. No.
I hate that like
Well-
everything is paywalled now. Like I just want to get some decent information, but then
Well, even
I have
just
to go to a freaking Breitbart if I want to get like unpaywalled information. It's a real issue. These websites like Breitbart are not paywalled, and there are websites like New York Times that is.
Here, I got it right here. It's gonna be Foxfire. Let me share my.
We'll take it as long as it's not paywall. Go ahead and share if you don't mind. Yes, someone is pointing out correctly that we are 24
there have
minutes
been,
away.
by the way, sorry, quick interruption. There have been 13 in the Virginia House. 13 House seats have flipped from the Republicans to the Democrats tonight.
Oof. In what state?
Oof.
Don't know the splits. I'm going to go look into that now. But that's
What was the
13
state?
flips. This is Virginia, the House
Virginia.
district,
So it's
the
been a
House. The House. So 13.
bit of
There
a
are 2 seats,
bloodbath.
apparently 2 seats away from a super majority now. So yeah,
Yeah, this is funny. I didn't even know Alvin Bragg was up for re-election, but it's funny to see that he ended up
Crushed.
retaining. Yeah, Trump won't be
I
happy
mean,
about that.
That's Manhattan for you. Like that wasn't. I don't think he was too much worried.
It's not a surprise, but it's kind of funny though, nonetheless, that even despite him trying to like, dethrone Alvin Bragg, he miserably failed. That's great.
John, you want to throw us through some more cope real quick? We got 20 minutes to kill. I don't know if we're gonna stay
let's
here
do it.
all
Let's
the way.
do it. Let's do it. I just tweet. I had to tweet out on my personal account. Make no mistake, Trump was on the ballot tonight, and he lost bigly.
True. Bigly.
Absolutely.
Bigly. I had to throw that out there.
23 minutes until
Let's
California.
see. Oh, by the way,
drops.
Vince, throw out your socials. Where people find you.
Sure. Yeah, guys. My
Put in the
name is
Discord
the
chat.
Vince Wilson Show. Oh yeah, I'll put it in the
I'll put it in
Discord
the
chat, or you want me to put it in the YouTube?
Yeah, and
Put it
put
in the
in
Discord.
say it here too. Yeah.
Put it in the Discord and I'll copy it in the restream. It goes everywhere.
Okay.
Oh,
let me
there we
just
go,
put my
perfect.
link tree. Hold on. Let me get my link tree. It's easier just to do the link tree than doing the all like the
Yeah.
the socials. I'm basically everywhere. You can find me as the Vince Wilson Show. Just as a heads up, I am not familially connected to Andrew Wilson. Okay, but it does make a fun little battle when me and him get into debates about the battle of the Wilsons, if you will, of who is the better debater. There are a couple of debates out there. Check them out. But yes, I do stream. I have had a tough month. I have been to about 4 different states in the past month and a half because of work. Fun. So that's why I have not been streaming for the past month and a half. But I'm getting back into the gear. I stream Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I cover the news, react to political press conferences and things of that nature. I even participate in debates, and I'm trying to increase those more frequently. Unfortunately, I've been a little bit slacking on that. I also do a lot of TikToks. So catch me on there as well. But I'll go ahead and post the link tree here in just a second.
John, do you know who OG is? In our Discord.
I do not.
Okay.
So we've got.
They wanted to
Okay,
speak.
you-
I don't know, but they're a member. You pay, you can come and speak. I'll bring them.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
yeah. If
John's
they got
info.
a question, yeah, no, bring them in. Bring them in. Bring
Why
them in.
not? Come on up.
Laura Luber's having a meltdown. Okay, let's go look at that. That
Here you go,
sounds
OG.
good to
If
me.
you want to say something, feel free to, as long as it's not offensive. Or if it is
I'm gonna
offensive,
pull
it's
up
okay.
Laura Luber while you're talking.
How's it going?
Yeah, good lower limit. Not that eight.
You are like.
Oh,
the
you're
mil-
you're. I do know who you are. I do know who you are. You're in England, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Your microphone is currently 150 miles away from your. We can't hear very easily.
Wait,
We've got a lot of people tuning in from all over. It's kind of a sad thing,
Can you
but
zoom
it's
in a
also
little
kind
bit,
of a
John?
fascinating thing. That's.
Loomered.
So,
She's got
are
a
you talking to
microphone.
me?
Yeah. Can you zoom in on the?
Oh, zoom in on this. Oh, yeah. That so many people from around the world are focused on American politics. It's kind of sad that so many people are dependent on it. Like it impacts them so well. It's kind of sad, but let's see here.
Why did GOP run?
Why did
Never
GOP?
Trump? Maybe because it's not.
Why did the
viable?
GOP run 2 never Trumpers for governor?
Why would
I gotta
you
come up
ever
with
run?
a-
Why would you run the most hardline MAGA? Dude, this is exactly, by the way, exactly how like the far populist left responds to losing. It's like, why didn't you just run a PRist? Like,
Did y'all see that Laura Loomer got a Pentagon press pass? I don't know if y'all saw that.
Not shocked.
After the purge of all the reporters,
Sure.
she ended up announcing that she got a press pass
Oh my
along with
gosh.
Alex Jones. Alex
Oh,
Jones
gosh.
and Mike Lindell.
Wait, go back
got
up, go back
press
up.
passes.
hold on, stay on this one. Virginia just went blue largely because of the Muslim vote. What percent
I'm literally
of-
about to.
yeah, of Virginia is Muslim? Approximately 2%.
Yeah, I don't think they covered the margin there, Laura.
That's
I'm sorry to say, but they
170,000
definitely.
people. By the way, Trump, like, are Muslims back in the Democratic coalition? They went like 50-50 for Trump, but they probably are.
Well,
back
that
at
was
this
because
point.
they went 50. They went against. They didn't go for Trump. They went against Kamala. Remember?
That's true.
Because they.
But they went.
She did.
Dearborn went reasonably for Trump, but like maybe okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, though, guess what? Texas voters approved a constitutional amendment that requires U.S. citizenship to vote.
Wow.
It changes absolutely nothing in Texas at all.
Damn, dude, how cooked do you have to be to think that you're making a difference there? Can we get up? Let's pass a
Oh,
constitutional
man.
amendment. You have to be alive to vote.
There is an out for Republicans, by the way, in terms of a potential for them to come out in the midterms pretty strong. By the way, I don't know if many people paid attention to this. In the Senate recently, several Republicans voted to overturn
Yeah.
Donald Trump's tariffs. So there is an out for these Republicans. The economy is the biggest issue. So the Senate had voted to overturn it. The House had not. Guess what's going to happen, though? Those Republicans are like, and especially in the House. Think about how crazy this is, right? The Senate voted to overturn. That was the biggest issue. The House is where the pressure is for these Republicans. If the Democrat, and I think if I were the Democrats, I would have to find a play to try to keep the Republicans from overturning the tariffs now from a political standpoint. Even though it would help the American people, it would also help Republicans because once you overturn those tariffs, the immediate rush in. So Democrats have to find a way for that plan if they overturn those tariffs.
That's a painful image right
The-
there.
Yeah, well, this image is a painful image, but back onto those tariffs, the issue, of course, is that Trump can veto that. I don't know
Yep.
I don't know how it works around, because the only reason Trump has the power to impose tariffs is because Congress gave that power to the presidency back in like the 30s or 40s. And I don't know if they can simply reverse that without him having to sign it. Can they undo a law? Can he veto them undoing a law? I don't know.
I think they
don't know if
can
that-
because you
I don't
have to
know.
pass a law to.
Right. So okay. So in that case, they will probably have to have a
Two-thirds
supermajority
majorities.
to take it back, and
Yeah, you need to-
hopefully
you
the
need to
Senate
override
rules
them.
on that and takes it back. But yeah, look at it like this right here. Now this is a very small county. There's only 5,000 voters in this county, but this is a Trump plus 43. Swung quite hard to the other way. Yeah, I mean these look, we're just looking through these counties, and yeah. Massive swings to the Democrats on some of these from what we
They're just
looked
a
at
really strong
before.
midterm party.
Yeah.
15 more minutes
Wild.
until we get more action. We get the
That's-
early
Yeah, it's
promise.
Is Twitter, this is all Twitter right now, isn't it? Like Twitter, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like my God, like the past week, it's either been Nazis or boobs. Like that is all Twitter has been for like a week now. Nazis or boobs. Like there's no in between.
What could go in
Ugh.
between?
It's true. Well, definitely let's be very clear. The one never sees the other or has anything to do with the other.
True.
So
Did you ever
let's see
see this
here.
guy? He retired, but his name is Everyday Bastiat. He was.
Oh yeah,
former-
dude. Oh,
Yes.
I've met him. I know him.
Oh, that's nice.
He's
he
a
was
great
Republican.
guy. I miss him. He is such a good guy.
He was a Republican.
was
He's
great on
literally.
OG.
I had dinner with him. Joshua Eagle and I had dinner with him 2 or 3 years ago. we sat down and had dinner with him because he was speaking at he and I were both speaking at a conference or whatever, and we sat down, had a great talk. This was before a debate I had, so we talked. Great dude.
Why do you retire?
I really. His wife was pregnant. He was getting into things, and I hope he comes back because man, that guy was a really solid man. Really,
I was
solid.
just gonna say,
Great entertainer in terms of debate. He was around in the OG Twitch politics debate sphere. And a little
What does Candace
background
have
on
to
me
say,
for anybody
sorry?
who's. Oh, good. For anyone who's unaware, my background, I have been on the Twitch poll debate scene since 2019. Admittedly, I was kind of a similar situation with Everyday Bastion. My son was born in the summer of 2020. And so I took a break, came back a little bit once he kind of got a little older, but then I had a daughter. So then I took another break. And so I kind of started to pick streaming back up again religiously in 2024 a little bit more. So, but that's just a little bit of background. So yeah, Everyday Bastion's a really cool dude. And hopefully he comes back. He's got a lot of wealth of knowledge. Great entertainer too.
The only thing I was going to say about him is that he said once that having sex is what changed him from a conservative to a liberal, which I thought was pretty funny. Can you zoom in a tiny bit more for us?
Yeah.
Democrats have flipped
Virginia, the HD 66. Again, going back to the Democrats have flipped 13 House seats in Virginia, in the Virginia House. Yeah, wow. So this guy has been elected. Wow, this guy has been in office for 36 years, you guys. He was just taken
That's one hell
out
of a
by. Yeah.
That is
wow.
It's a grueling victory.
This is a bloodbath.
Assuming this anime profile picture is correct.
Sorry. We had a comment from England. What's up?
From England.
Trump's Truth Social.
Oh no! Oh God! I don't even know what
dude,
Truth
I'm
Social
not ready.
login.
That's bad.
Actually,
all
Trump.
caps.
Okay.
Get your all caps out, boys.
What's the account that reposts the Truth daily posts?
I put it in the chat on Discord.
Wow, 6 minutes ago he posted. Okay, that is up there, but check this out. 6 minutes ago, Republicans terminate the filibuster, get back to passing legislation and voter reform. President DJT, he's now calling to terminate the filibuster. He's like, y'all, we're not going anywhere. he's freaking out.
I don't
All
even
caps,
know.
by the way.
I don't even know what the fuck. What are Republicans trying to pass now? I don't even know.
They don't even know.
What is their the tax cuts? What's left? What does Trump actually want to pass in Congress?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I seriously don't even think they know.
It's just nervous energy. He's just panicked.
Yeah.
You think Trump's going for round 3? 11 minutes
No.
on the clock.
I don't think Trump's going to try to go for round 3. I think that Trump. I don't even think Trump is that engaged right now. I really think that he is just the figurehead, and he has Project 2024 people or 25 people, whatever.
Yeah.
Running everything, doing everything, and he is literally just signing off on it and just.
He doesn't
chilling
even know
out
why
for
he
the
pardoned
ride.
the Binance person.
He doesn't. Exactly. He didn't even know. Yeah, he didn't even know why he pardoned somebody. He doesn't even know who he pardoned. The guy. I think we are literally Biden 2.0 in the sense that he doesn't even know what's actually going on in his own government. And yeah, so it the coping and seething from Twitter. I don't know. At least it's good that we've shut down this whole notion of this. There's this massive, wave of Republican, which Donald Trump won by a very small margin. Very small margin. It really wasn't. I mean, it didn't even get. I can't tell you how many Republicans have told me in the past year that Donald Trump got over 50% of the vote, and he didn't, of the national vote. And it's like, dude, you didn't even get 50%. This is not a mandate. That's the word that they always used. Okay, this is here. Let's actually pull this up. This is actually from Fox News, talking directly about what we've been saying. So I'm gonna share my screen here. We're gonna listen to this real quick. 17 seconds. Hopefully this comes through. Why is it not coming through? I have it muted.
Oh, what
Just be
what is it?
careful with Fox
Trumpism
News.
is
Yeah.
over. Joshua Eagle with the call. Did you see that?
Hang on. Can you guys hear this?
Yep. No, it's a little bit low.
No. I can't hear anything. Just send me the link and I can pull it up.
The reason for their voting for the Democrat, 71% of them wanted to oppose the sitting president. That's a huge number of motivation to vote. But I'm sorry, what did Joshua Eagle say?
You can see right above. Right above the tweet.
Oh, Trumpism is over.
Joshua Eagle with the call out, the firm call, the PL analyst desk coming in with the hottest take of the evening. Yeah.
Yep. Well, here you go. Here's the Republicans terminate the filibuster. Get back to passing law. Every single
Yep.
county shifted blue. That's crazy.
8 minutes till California polls close.
What do you think about all of this? Like, there's like these threats on polling stations, and this is like not like, what is this? This is ridiculous. Like,
These do happen from time to time. Not very
What
common,
happened in the last
but they do
election, too?
happen.
Stephen Miller's
Sorry?
doing some weird.
oh boy, you can stop right there. I already believe it.
So Stephen Miller's doing some weird, like, posting stuff without any context. That
Big
I'm
posting.
inclined to. I'm kind of like inclined to believe that this has something to do with like increased ICE raids. Maybe I'm not sure. He could be implying that immigrants are somehow voting. Don't know
Of
about
course,
that.
They lost,
but
so
here-
it's rigged.
It's just a post that says household and family types. And it says almost 50% of New Yorkers live in family households with at least one immigrant. Is a screenshot, by the way. Over 1 million children, equaling 62% of all children in New York City, live in a household with at least one foreign-born family member. Of the 1 million New Yorkers who live in mixed status households, 265,500 or 27% are children. 80% of these children are U.S.-born citizens. Mixed status households demonstrate that all New Yorkers are impacted by federal policies that separate families. I kind of feel like this is a weird thing of that they're going back to with the 14th Amendment, trying to overturn. Oh goodness, what is it? U.S. citizenship for those who are born on U.S. soil. So I don't know if this is him kind of like dog whistling in that direction or not, but that certainly is what it feels like.
What do you guys think? He won is trending. Do you think it's for Jay Jones?
No, it's for Mamdani.
Is let's see.
100% for Mamdani because he's popular on the internet. Never
Yeah,
say that
it
Jay
is. It
Jones.
is. It is. Yeah, you're right. That's funny.
Laura Loomis.
All right,
How
6
quick
minutes
will,
on the clock until we finally get some.
yeah, I was gonna say,
California
how-
action.
Yeah, I wonder how quick the woke is back is trending. Oops, that's not what I want to click.
Woke is back.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so like they're so fucking mad. Like woke is back.
That's pretty funny.
That's the
I think they
Oh,
pushed
man.
way.
I think we're going to see very much. This is more than anything. This is going to be a moral victory for Democrats. They had a moral victory with the massive No Kings protests that went exceptionally well, exceptionally peacefully. The Republicans, MAGA tried to find something to rag on the No Kings protests about, and they really couldn't find anything. There really wasn't any violence associated with those protests. So they were a huge success in that regard.
Did you guys? I don't
and
know.
I think Democrats are going to find a lot of motivation headed into next year over this.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy, dude. Trump was just like had 12 brain cells in his head and didn't tariff. You could just write Biden's economy into that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Rip.
Well, that's what I was going to say, right? Is that like it was such an easy opportunity for Trump and Republicans to just not be crazy. Like, just don't be crazy. Don't do crazy ICE raids. Don't do crazy tariffs and all this other stuff. And he would have probably have had a 2016 run where he may have been fine. Albeit, I'm sure there would probably been still some controversies. But like they played way too fast, way too hard. And I think that's the issue that's going on right now is what we're seeing is a referendum on just that.
Hold on. Someone said Kyle.
I
Kalinske
no,
tweeted something.
100%.
Yeah,
If I think a lot of voters thought that Trump was just going to be the 2016 Trump and come in and do his normal, what he did then and be normal, et cetera, et cetera. Those of us who were actually paying attention to what he was saying saw the difference and understood that this was going to be very different. That the people surrounding him were entirely different than the ones who surrounded him in his 2016 presidential election, and we saw the dangers in that. And I think that people are waking up to the fact that this is a different Trump, and this is a dangerous Trump surrounded by dangerous people.
Yeah. Hold on. Someone.
I'll be honest though. What'd you got?
I was just gonna say somebody posted a Kyle Kalinske tweet. I want to go read it, but I have to I can't highlight it.
Let's just Lucas back. That's all.
Let's see what Kyle's tweeting.
Woke's
He
back
always
tweet.
has
Yes, he did
bangers.
tweet. He did tweet that.
I will say though, I did not expect the I did not expect that Trump would end up being so hands off this time around because of all
Right.
the firings that he had done on his first term. I would have expected him to have more of a hand, but this time around, it really feels that he is he is literally the vacation president that whoever.
Oh, did we lose you?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Did
I'm
you
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out for just a second.
Oh, yeah, you were good. All I was going to say is it feels like whoever gets in his ear first gets the policy they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agreed. There's no rhyme or reason to Trumpism. It's whatever he feels like. Yeah.
I
What
love
is
these
this
memes.
retired teacher?
Voted for
voted
Buttigieg to
Buttigieg.
Chinese president grandson.
2020.
The blood of our tires. The tires shall water our fields. There's another meme that's just like this where it says cringe Maoist LARPer. And it's this guy's have you considered the economic anxiety that Republicans face? And it's suburban wine mom. Every Republican breathing is an affront to God.
Wow.
All right, guys. T
you guys
minus
see the
1
news?
minute.
1 minute.
1 minute
Oh, I'm not
for
ready.
Proposition 50.
Did you guys see the news out of Kentucky that apparently they had a lot of calls asking why the polls were closed so early, and it's we didn't have an election in Kentucky this year, folks. It's oops.
It's
You
You
guys
worse.
are-
gotta, you gotta
Apparently they were
admire the passion though.
but they were
I mean,
apparently
Trump-
asking about voting for New York City mayor.
What? That's okay. That's one part I hadn't heard.
That's great. They were just
That's
can't
wild.
let this Muslim win. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Just doing my part, I guess.
Cool.
Listen, if you go to some areas of Kentucky, it's pretty bad. Okay, so it's not a surprise if that were the case.
Yeah. I
Here we go,
visited
guys.
Kentucky a
2,
while back.
1, 0. Polls are closed.
Let's do this. All right, let's see. It'll
No
be
way.
interesting to see.
Nothing.
So what? Let me look at Polymarket. Let's see. What do we have any predictions on polling on this? What's the expected
It's expected to
outcome?
pass.
I expect
don't know
it
if
to
there's any up.
pass, but
Wait, did they just call it? What the fuck? Look at the screen. I think they
What?
just called it.
I see that.
With 0 votes, we're there. Someone's gonna call election rigged. Someone is immediately gonna call this is rigged. It's over.
The
dude.
exit polling has to be crystal clear on this. Like the exit polling must just be like so obvious. They're like, "Yep."
It's like 99% of respondents are like, I'm voting no.
Hey, and Polymarket has it at 99%. So
At 0% of the vote, we are in there, baby. We call it on minute 1. Second
That's
one.
great.
What
Yeah,
is-
they're actually calling it.
Did
It's
they call it?
NBC's calling it. They're saying it's passed, and it shows 0% of the vote.
that's funny. Their exit polling has got to be so clear. Okay, so now we do
Everyone
by how
gets
much.
to go to
So
bed early.
Polymarket has by what margin will the California redistricting referendum pass? And the largest vote getter is a 20 to 30% margin. Not passing isn't even an option. So, yeah. So,
There has to be something
we gonna
sarcastic
see-
we have to be like.
right,
This
we
is
have.
like
Are we
the-
going to
this is like
see?
the
Are we
ultimate
going
meme. We're calling it here at 0. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't seen a single
Well,
vote.
they'll
but I
do
know
that
how I
on-
feel.
Yeah, they'll still have a little bit. Let's see here. So when will we get do we have any exit polls? Let me go back to CNN here. CNN. The exit
Okay,
polls.
so
Do we
let
have
me
any
understand-
exit
so I
polls
can-
from California. Yes, we do.
So
Okay,
to be
we've got some
clear,
exit polls
'cause
here.
To be clear, just so
Warren,
we're
let me
clear,
stream.
because I think there's
Yeah.
some confusion on this. So a yes vote, because I haven't paid.
You cut out again?
Oh, it got cut out again.
Sorry, a yes vote means what exactly? I just want to be clear. A
Yeah.
yes vote means that they're going to redraw the maps,
Correct.
or
Yes.
I'm a little confused on that part. Redraw the maps in Democrats' favor, in essence, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I figured. Just want to make sure I understood that correctly.
Billy, new Trump Truth Social post.
That's great, dude. Yes wins. AP
A new
called
one?
the
Do we have
race,
another
8 on the
link?
dot. That's actually bananas that called it a 0. I was expecting there to be a race, but like now we're just gonna lose all our viewers. We're gonna be like, all right, well, I'm done here.
He's freaking
Okay,
out.
let's.
OG is
Trump?
right. Donald Trump's freaking out. He just posted another Truth Social
Can we?
Bring
saying
it up.
pass. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Yeah, let me
bring it
bring
up.
it
This is the most important. What does the president have to say? I want to see the president's crash out. Let's do this.
Oh, he's crashing out hard. Hold on. Let me
Get
pull it up.
Joshua on this. All right, I need the post lap by Josh. I'm gonna message him on Signal.
Here it is. Pass voter reform, voter ID, no mail-in ballots, save our Supreme Court from quote unquote packing, no two-state edition, etc. Terminate the filibuster. He's freaking out. He's like, terminate it tonight. Guys, get back. We need to terminate it now.
Oh, that's too good. Oh, that's too good. Oh my gosh,
He's freaking out hard.
that's funny. All right, that's great. I love to see that. Okay, so we've got exit polling from California. We have let's see here. Wow. I mean, you can see from the
Real
exit
quick,
polling right here.
Gallego, God, as a Texan, God bless California, Prop 50. Thanks for your message, Gallego.
Yeah, you can see why they've already called it. The exit polling is pretty damn clear. It's going to pass by probably a 60 to something margin. On that, again, we're just across the board.
1% of votes is in, 74% yes at this moment. With 1%.
Yeah. We've got let's see here. I wonder
6.8
if they actually
million votes
do-
casted.
Yeah, I mean, again. Oh, this is interesting. Condition of California's economy. Again, this is a referendum probably on Gavin Newsom more than anything else. But those who said it was excellent, good, which is 37%, said California's economy was good. 91% of them voted yes. Those who said that California's economy is not good or poor mostly voted no, which is interesting, but not by much of a margin. I mean, you can see the 56 to 44 compared to the 91 to 99%. And those who are only 9% are enthusiastic and satisfied. Wow, 73% of Californians are angry and dissatisfied about the way things are going in the U.S. Wow.
All right.
Yeah,
So what are the odds that the
73%.
government reopens by the end of the week?
That's a good question.
That's why we got to
That
abolish
is a
the
very
filibuster.
good question.
Yeah, this is a crushing. It's only 2% in, but at this rate, it's crushing. 75 to 25 victory for California. It
What's
is
the
a
view
blue
of the
state.
Democratic Party?
What?
View of Democratic Party is, where is it? 50% unfavorable. That seems to line up with, I'm looking at the one that's the aggregate, the unfavorable and favorable at the one right below
Oh
that.
yeah,
right
yeah,
there,
down here.
Yeah, that lines up with what we've seen for Virginia and New Jersey. It's about 50%, 50, 52%. But like you said, it was, even though they were unfavorable, 30% still voted yes.
Right,
So-
right. Yeah. And then
What's that view of Republican Party?
so it's
60?
63% said unfavorable and 36% said favorable. So 1/3 of Californians have a favorable view of the Republican Party, and 2/3 of them do not.
Gotcha.
We need to have like one of those
Interesting
sweaty
with
memes
Gavin
of,
Newsom.
we need one of those memes where like when you're a Republican congressman from whatever California, like it's
Again, Republicans just getting hammered on economy. 46%
entirely
consider it most
deserved and
important.
self-inflicted. That's the most like embarrassing
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Some of these Texas stuff is kind of weird. Prop 15, Parental Rights Amendment, provides that parents have the right to exercise care, custody, and control of the parent's child, including the right to make decisions concerning the child's upbringing. I'm assuming this is an amendment to their to the Texas Constitution. I don't know if this has to do with the trans issues, but I have a feeling that it might have something to do with that. But they voted for it, so okay.
Yeah,
And
there were
then,
some yeah.
And then they had the Prop 16, which was amended the Texas Constitution to provide that persons who are not citizens of the United States cannot vote.
Wow,
Okay.
you got him.
Here's an interesting stat out of California. 92% of Californians say that a nonpartisan commission should draw congressional districts. I think that's so. Here's an issue that Democrats should run on: is a national, I guess it would have to be a constitutional amendment saying that congressional districts should not be partisan.
So what is going on right now is that in California, that was the case. It used to be the law,
Right.
that it was a nonpartisan commission, but now we have to. Now they want to match. Now they want to match Texas, so they're partisaning it. So we have to figure out a way to. We have to figure out a way to just like like. I wonder if there's a way we could just like I don't know like pass a law that both Texas and California both have to do it together, and if one reneges the other,
It has to be at the state level. It either has to be a congressional, it has to be a constitutional amendment, or it has to be a state law. That's really the only options. The federal government has no control over how states do their elections. That's why Trump just had that where he was trying to require states to verify citizenship. It's out of his purview. It's not the role of the federal government, and so it has to be the state legislatures or a congressional amendment.
So Maine actually had a few interesting ballot measures. The question one was absentee voting and voter ID restrictions. It says, do you want to change Maine election laws to eliminate 2 days of absentee voting, prohibit requests for absentee ballots by phone or family members, and ongoing absentee voter status for seniors and people with disabilities, ban prepaid postage on absentee ballot return envelopes, limit the number of drop boxes.
Cut off again.
We also had temporary restrictions on dangerous weapons. Those are voting yes. These are red flag laws, in essence, is what question 2 is. So it looks like Maine may be getting red flag laws put into place in Maine. So that's some interesting things that are going on in Maine. There's also a random one in Colorado. Jesus, that was Texas. Prop MM raised taxes for school meals. And it says lower the tax deduction limits for taxpayers earning $300,000 or more from $12,000 to $1,000 for single filers, and from $16,000 to $2,000 for joint filers, increasing $95 million in taxes annually to support the Healthy School Meals for All program. The purpose of the measure is to ensure the state's 2-year-old Healthy Schools Meal for All program, which provides free school meals to all Colorado students, has enough money to operate. And people voted yes. It just kind of raised taxes for school meals. So
Seems
just
like
some little less known things.
yeah. Boy, this Benny Johnson is going on some more rants about the
Pull it up.
about
I
the
live for the
thing.
code.
He's talking about how Democrats voted for murdering people.
Can he stop?
Yeah.
I mean, remember, this guy's literally funded by the Russian government, so
You can't make this up. Listen, I'm going to say
President
this
Trump
as
reacts. President Trump reacts to tonight's disgraceful elections.
It's funny.
Gosh.
You can't make this up. There's a featured ad on Trump's Truth Social. It involves a little blue pill, and I kid you not, it is bold-faced and front and centered. You can't make it up. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm reporting what I'm seeing. I promise there's no bias in
Sounds like
this
we need a
reporting.
screenshot.
Screenshot it. That would be a really good. This would be a really good meme. Can you screenshot for us and send it in the Discord chat?
Bet.
Even Trump, even True Social's taking the blue pill tonight. Man, I was really expecting to like hang out for another hour and like really just like go through the whole like
Have something.
will it,
wait
won't
for
they
and
for
discuss.
Prop 50.
It all was over fast.
Over fast. It was over the second
I
the polls
mean-
closed.
Well, I
Everybody
mean,
gone.
I went back and I'm looking at the New Jersey race, 94% reporting, and the Democrats up 56 to 43. This was the race that the Republicans were saying that they had a chance in, and boy, they just got blown out by 400,000 votes. Like not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was
I'm
over
seriously,
the
what-
game.
Again, I've asked this question before, and I'll ask it again. What is the Republicans can look at and say, oh, well, we got this done? They just had, for example, we just saw that the 36-year vet in Virginia's state house, incumbent, loses. Like, what is there in this election that Republicans can look at and go, oh, you know what? That wasn't so bad.
Nothing. And that's exactly why the only thing they're going to have to do is course correct.
They cheated.
And that
It was stolen. That's what they're going to
Yeah.
do, though. They don't. These people do
How
not
do you
course
course
correct.
correct?
VAGA does not course correct.
Yep. They won't course correct. And that's the issue, right? And that's why I think that what we're gonna see is if they do here's the thing, if they do course correct, they do it in a way that they like say they're not course correcting, but they really are, but they're like, no, we're not, kind of thing, you know? It's kind of like the Donald Trump weave, right? Where they'll be like, I created this problem. I'm going to fix the problem. And then I'm going to claim I fixed my problem, but I'm going to blame the Democrats so that it's not really my problem, you know?
By the way, AP Associated Press has called all three of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court races. They aren't even close. They're at 60-40 margin, 60-40, 60-40, 60-40.
Did
All
you take
three
a
of
picture of
them
that?
for the Democrats.
Excellent. Did you?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Do you want to do it, or should I do
Yep.
it, John? I'll do it.
What's this?
Even True Social is
Oh.
blue pilled.
There you go. Oh, that's a good one. I like it. Let's do it. Let's send it out. Yeah, do it. Go for
I got
it.
this one.
You can probably trim it a little bit off the truth. I don't know. I just kind of took a generic screenshot.
No, it's fine. It's perfect as is.
That's great. So, yeah, I mean, it is a complete and clean sweep for the Democrats. I mean, no real surprises. I think everyone was kind of expecting it, but again, you know, it's yeah. It'll be interesting. So, how many seats can? I think basically, technically, California could take all congressional seats away from Republicans if they really wanted to. Correct?
That is the plan. A friend of mine's cousin is a Republican congressman. He's probably not having a good time right now. I have a friend who's related to Doug LaMalfa, who is up in Redding, California. He's probably not having a great day.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of one of those things that I don't like that we're here. I don't want these things. I don't like that we're doing this. But when you're facing a force like MAGA, what can you do when they're playing like the way they're playing? Do you have a choice? And frankly, I just don't. Yeah. I don't see. So it looks like Republicans could lose up to 7 seats, huh, from California. So yeah, boy, quite a night from.
Oh man, Jack Posobiec. He wrote, "It's a blue bath."
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it is.
I mean, it is.
I
All right. I think that we covered everything. Do you guys want to go in through some last stats, or we can?
I'm just kind of looking through. I'm looking through Polymarket right now, just kind of seeing what the odds are, mainly for the Democrats in 2026. I'm curious. I had that pulled up and I can't seem to find it. This is a cracked out website that I don't really understand. Yeah, I think at this point, we've covered all the bases. I think it's pretty clear that the Democrats got literally everything that they wanted. Which party wins the 2028 election? Looks like Democrats have actually gone down in Polymarket the past a couple of days. Nope, they've ticked up. They've ticked up over the past few hours. I'm just looking at.
Hey guys, listen. The race hasn't been called for the special election now. Okay, listen. I know y'all want to forget about the House congressional. Listen. The Democrats won that seat too. Okay, but it is funny because that one's kind of not gotten a whole lot of news coverage, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like, this is. All of these states are great. Like, I'm glad that Virginia flipped. By all means, I'm happy for the blue wave. But I want more attention on the House, like the Texas congressional district election. Like, that plays a factor in our future votes. Like, the person who wins, the governor who wins in Virginia is great. Don't get me wrong. It does show a litmus test, but the reality is that that governor is not the one that's in Congress. You know what I mean? So I wish there was more attention focused on this, because I just know that when this person wins, whoever wins on this House congressional district, there will be pushback in bringing them in. And if they swear this person in, but not the other person, there's some serious issues there.
Yeah.
Can someone tell Matt? I'm sorry, I'm changing side. Can someone please tell Matt Walsh? He's like, this is Matt. Matt Walsh wrote that Zoran won by mass migration. Am I allowed to? I'm going to write, like, why does everyone say that mass migration? Here, I'll share this. Can you stop sharing?
Is it me? Oh,
Yeah, he's doing this thing. So here's Matt Walsh. It's just like, third world communist won New York because New York is a third world city now. This is mass migration working exactly as intended. It isn't complicated, more complicated than that. And I just wonder, why does someone say mass migration favors Zoran? White people are his base. Like, do you care if I write that?
go for it.
I'm doing it, okay. Too
So
late.
there is an election in Georgia that is
that Democrats
heavily
crushed.
swinging. Yes. 95% of the vote in, 60-40 for Democrats. Republicans just didn't come out this today.
Republicans
Republicans just didn't get out. That's part
Republicans
of
don't
it.
even know there's an election. Like, that's probably an
It's true.
exaggeration, but Republicans just don't care about elections unless Donald J. Trump is on the ballot. It's just the very weird situation. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting because is
Again,
Vance going to be able to
I-
carry
We
a presidential election was what I was going with. By the way, Vince, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I saw you tweeted out. You wrote, with Virginia flipping and Andrew Cuomo losing massively. Is this a blue wave? Are you saying that if Cuomo had won, that is not good? That would be like, because he's technically blue. He's not the bluest. It depends on how you.
No, I saw. I was out. Yeah, no. It was me trying. I looked at some of the trending stuff, and I was curious. I was kind of doing my content farming there because I do think it's a blue wave through and through. It doesn't matter if you get to see if Andrew Cuomo were to not have lost. Let's say Andrew Cuomo won. I still consider it a blue wave because at the end of the day, Virginia would have flipped. You would have had the win by Prop 50. You would have had the House congressional special election in Texas. You would have had numerous elections. So it's not based on just those two alone. I use those in particular because they were trending words. But, I mean, it's not based on saying if they, those were the deciding factors. They were the largest in terms of news coverage, but I don't think they would have been the deciding factor on a blue wave.
Drew Pavlau. You guys following Drew Pavlau? Literally wrote.
that guy is. Oh no.
Western civilization
Oh, no.
has fallen. Unironically wrote that. Come on, man.
Damn.
It's because of Mamdani. He wouldn't have written it. It wasn't Mamdani.
All right.
There
well,
was
let's see.
some wild. Did y'all see Andy Ogle's tweet this morning or last night about Mamdani? He posted a picture of the plane going into a particular tall building in New York. I was like, oh my God, that is unhinged. That, like, I've seen some crazy shit, but that's like, if I were somebody who was either lost a family member, like there was a time, by the way, like this is how crazy our politics have gotten. There was a time where like that was sacred. Like you did
That would
not
end your
put
career.
Yes. Like there was a time where like they removed the plane from like Lilo and Stitch. They removed like any reference of that.
There was talk about renaming the Lord of the Rings, the middle movie, The Two Towers. They were talking about that. They were seriously talking. Now, Peter Jackson would have never allowed that, but there were serious conversations about whether or not they should stick with the name The Two Towers.
And Andy O was just like didn't give a shit. Like that to me is like not trying to be that offended liberal, but like that's something to rightfully be offended about. If I lost a family member on that accident, I would have been pissed. Like, no, you're not going to use that for that kind of political, and especially because it's invoking a lot of that racism that happened right afterwards as well towards that particular group. It really struck a nerve when I saw that. I'm like, that is really disgusting. It's exceptionally disgusting to see him post something like that.
Yeah. No, and it's one thing that there's plenty to criticize about Mamdani, about his policies, about his ideas, but going after him for that is pretty disgusting for sure. For sure.
All right, boys. It's been a night. I think.
Yeah,
It has been.
I gotta get off too.
It's been a wild. I'd say it's a roller coaster, but it hasn't been a roller coaster. It's all been one way.
I
It's
don't
kind of
know.
like,
yeah,
oh, well,
basically
okay.
everything you expected happened. Honestly, it's,
Yeah.
we got a little bit.
Exactly.
Jay Jones
All
got
right,
a
well,
little
thanks
tight
for-
there, but then other than that, like, props.
Yeah, that was the one that we were kind of. That was the barometer that I was really kind of paying attention to. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining, Oren. Appreciate you jumping in. Vince, thank you for
Thank
jumping
you.
in.
OG.
I appreciate it. We will definitely have some more live streams in the future. This is one of those things
Yes.
that's been on my to-do list to be more
Absolutely.
regular about.
Someone in the chat wrote, "It's been a coaster."
It's been a coaster. Yeah, exactly.
That's a
I
good one,
like it.
Paz.
I
Thank
like
you.
it. Perfect. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
All right,
See
guys.
you guys later.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you
Take
guys,
care,
everyone
y'all.
in the chats across the streams. Thank you guys for joining us, watching a few minutes. Appreciate it. Take it easy. We'll have more streams, maybe with some gaming content. We'll have some fun. Till then, have a nice night.